King Drew.
Okay. Hey. Okay, baby. Hey.
Welcome in, ladies and
What's
gentlemen.
going on, y'all, man? As you can see, Bacon coming with the energy today, man. We got Jerome down below. Before I bring them on and in, man, we got a jam-packed episode today, man. Appreciate y'all coming on. Man, we are breaking doors down, man. We're going to have on ATL or Greenlight Media. They be all over, man, the country, man. This is his first podcast, man. So we're excited to have him on. He's going to join us in just a little bit. We did that a little bit earlier, a couple weeks ago with Coach Daniels, man. So we love that, man. We love that we be in a platform where guys can come on, put their brand out there, talk a little bit about themselves, and get a little bit of a face to the brand. I thought we see a lot of brands, no face. We're going to put a face to that brand and what he's been able to do, man. He is tearing up the game, what he's able to get, what he's been accomplishing. So shout out to him. He's going to bring him on, man. But without further ado, let's bring on my two co-hosts, Jerome from Inside the Hashes and Arvon Bacon from Bacon Network, man. How y'all boys feeling tonight?
Hey, blessed and highly favored, brother. Can't say
Doing
nothing.
doing good, man. Living life. It's gonna be a long off season, but football at least. But we got basketball still, man. I gotta get on. I'm part of you guys now.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Aye, Captain.
Oh man. No doubt, man. But Bacon, I'm starting with you on the show today, man. First and foremost, man, what have you been seeing around the way, man? What's your first and foremost for the night, man?
First and foremost for the night, uncharacteristic. We're not talking about sports tonight. We're talking about real world numbers, man. We're gonna talk about East Black History Month. We're gonna talk about some black news, man. 70% of African Americans 40 or below are in the stock market right now, ladies and gentlemen. So that's big ups, man. So man, you know what I'm saying? We'll get a lot of positive stuff on us. So let's on the backs, man. So 70% 40 age or less are in the stock market right now. So you know what I'm saying? They talk about the volume. As a gentleman, we are a part of that volume. So you know what I'm saying, for the parents, you know what I'm saying, for the kids who are watching this, it don't take that much to get in. Take $100, $300, get yourself started in a blue chip. You know what I'm saying? It's better than just having that money in your savings account. You getting barely 0.0%. You put your money in the stock market, get you a minimum 15 to 30% income return, ROI, return of investment on your money. So that's my first and foremost for the kids and the young men tonight. And the ladies for that matter.
Bacon, speaking of knowledge, hey, if y'all don't know, man, hey, I fall in that percent too. As you can see, investing money, man, it is the way to go, okay? Invest that money, make it work for you, okay? You got it? Invest it. Hey, if you want some funds, VOOSPY, or you can go SSCHD. That's a dividend ETF, man. Love that Bacon shirt. That's that, man. Invest your money. Let it grow for you. More than just the savings, man. It just sits there, collect dust, make that money work for you. You work so hard for your money. Make it work for you, man. Love that tidbit tonight. All right, Inside the Hashes. Jerome, what you got, man? What's your first and foremost?
First and foremost, obviously, Sunday was the last football game of the season. Obviously, I think it was a great game. It started off a little slow. Happy that the 49ers didn't win. It's tired of their fans. They're really gross. But we got to talk about the halftime show. Come on, man.
Let's be light, Jerome. Let's be light.
Come on, that had to be one of the best halftime shows, man. Usher did his thing up there, man. Had the internet going crazy, man. And, your ATL guy. So I had to shout him out. That was a cool performance. I was happy to see it. Some legends out there, Alicia Keys, her, Little John, Ludacris, man, they all came out for it. So I thought that was really cool. It was awesome. I like the halftime show. All y'all haters are hating because y'all know that was a good one. So stop hating. That was a good halftime
Who
show.
said that was a bad one?
Shout to the man. The man's 45 years old, by the way. I didn't know that. The man's 45 years old. Still doing things. So
still moving like that.
Man, I hope I'll be.
Man, that's the goal.
I don't got it. But
hair's still dark too.
What you got?
No doubt about it. For me, man, real quick, first and foremost, man, USC continues to struggle, man. Look like they're gonna probably miss the tournament. That's my first and foremost coming into the season. A lot of people were high on them. They thought they would have a really good team, man. And not that they don't. I know it's young players, Isaiah Collier, who's really elite, but only a freshman. I know they got Bronny James, a freshman. Ayrton Page is starting to come on here very, very lately. Boogie Ellis is a primetime prospect, as we all know, but just have not gotten it to kind of mesh, struggling, probably on the outside looking in, unless they go on a great run and have a really good conference tournament, man. But that is my first and foremost. I thought that talent, I know sometimes it takes that continuity, that cohesion, but they have been struggling, man. Hopefully they'll be able to get together, but likely going to miss the tournament.
Very likely.
Yes, very likely. All right, so that is the first and foremost that concludes this segment. Without further ado, if he's ready, let's go ahead and bring on Greenlight Media, man. Officially, Greg. Appreciate you coming on the show, man, to get back to me. Let's talk some hoops, man.
Yes, sir. Ding, 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 ding.
Let's do it, y'all. Let's do it. You got me into the segment. Talking about that USC.
You in, man. Had to segue you in, you know?
No doubt.
Sure. Well, man, before we start, man, just tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Tell us about the Greenlight Media brand, man. Everything you guys are about. What's a little bit about what you guys do on the daily, and what's a little bit about what your brand is about?
Yeah, so Greenlight Media started by me straight out of high school. Actually, the COVID summer, I have to give a lot of credit to the COVID summer because the media wasn't out that summer in the AAU scene. The slams, the Bleacher Reports, the Balls Lives, they weren't able to send their videographers traveling, kind of capitalizing off the on the radar events and other local stuff in Atlanta, and Atlanta being one of the only hubs that was hosting during COVID. And originally it was just my friends needed help getting exposure. They couldn't get college looks because of COVID. Hey, Greg, can you come shoot me a video? Can you come put my highlights together? They knew I was into the video editing. And honestly, I didn't have a camera at first. I was going around gym to gym, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., filming with my phone with a couple guys from high school. And eventually it's just kept on growing and growing. I guess in the early stages, it was big to get featured on Bleacher Report, ESPN, like all those big accounts, help the growth of it. Following the guys that we covered in high school, the Chase Cormier's, Cameron McDowell's, Scoot Henderson's class. Those guys eventually, as they filled out to the college and pro ranks, I figured, hey, might as well cover them. Those are our guys. We just started expanding, got better with it, expanded our team. Now there's 7 of us.
Tough.
Yeah, we got all of us are pretty much out of the Atlanta area, but I've met some people in college up here in Boston that have helped me out. We got one of my friends, Nick, who's been there since day one. He's at Tulane. He's a basketball manager there. My guy Francesco goes to Georgia Tech. My guy Ben at Kennesaw State. So we still have some roots in the Atlanta area. And then I don't know if you guys know C-Rod Films. Carlos Rodriguez from the Augusta area does a lot of work for me. I don't know if y'all are familiar. And then a couple of guys out in Cali right now that I met up in college. So the team is growing. The content's growing. I love helping players get to the next level. And really that's what it's rooted in at the end of the day. The numbers are great. 50,000 followers now on all platforms. That's dope to see. But at the end of the day, it's, hey, we posted this high school player's highlights. He's getting a college offer. Hey, we helped film this guy's whatever pre-draft workout, and now he's getting looked at by NBA teams. That's where the fulfillment comes for me. So, yeah, it's been great to see the growth. Definitely, I mean, it looks good to see the numbers, but it's nowhere near where I want to be. So, But yeah, I appreciate y'all having me on. Haven't seen all y'all's stuff. I saw you had Luke Winstall on. Pretty crazy. He went to my high school, was a year above me. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're both in the media game from St. Pius High School. So, yeah.
Back to back.
That's pretty dope. I did not know that. That's pretty dope. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, Greg, a little bit. How do you? I know you got a little bit of a team, but how do you manage all like? I know you say you're in college right now in school. So how do you manage just the books, man, and being able to get this great content out and still give coverage to these players?
Yeah, man, it's tough, especially with being in college. But really getting more organized now. We're on Discord. That's helped like with the organization a little bit. Just organizing it to have different sub pockets of the brand, like guys who are working on content, guys who are working on TikTok, guys who are working on like the business side, trying to get sponsorships. So kind of branching that out. And then I think just it's been clutch that I've formed a really big videographer friendships and relationships on the ground. Working like in video to start, being the man behind the camera has given me kind of like a new lens to get access to videographers and knowing that, hey, I have a guy who's filming the game at UGA tonight. Might as well get his footage. Having a guy at Auburn, and that's kind of helped me out. Still making sure I have footage on the ground because at the end of the day, like while we are a little bit more nationwide and we are posting a lot of TV footage, I think that our roots in Atlanta are a huge aspect of it. And without Atlanta, we're not where we are today. So.
No doubt. And then I'll throw one more and then let you go ahead and Bacon because you're really good with the hoop scene. So just talk about you talked about On the Radar kind of being instrumental in getting you into the game. Talk about some of those big time events. Like let's say a person that was in your similar shoes, they want to kind of get out there and get into the hoop scene that's kind of underrated in some aspects. Talk a little bit about how do you get into the hoop scene, man, and kind of get your brand a little bit out there and be able to cover what would be some big time events someone should go to and or kind of be at in order to kind of get into the hoop scene?
Yeah, I'll just start by saying, like Sean Williams On the Radar, he's just been huge for me and like what I've been able to do. Really kind of teaching me how to monetize my business, connecting me to a lot of people in the Atlanta area. That's been big. I would say when you just start into it and as a videographer or media person, you kind of have to swallow your pride a little bit. I'm sure you guys have been there too. You have to realize, hey, I'm not going to be making the big bucks right away. I might have to do these free opportunities. And it does, like the hours, they add up and you're just so frustrated. You're like, man, I want that money, but you just have to swallow your pride and you have to do it. I think of the times where I was going to shoot a docuseries at McEachern when Cam McDowell and Chance Moore were there and I wasn't getting paid, but I still knew I had to do it. I knew I had to get out there. I knew that the views were going to be there.
Yeah.
I think of a lot of opportunities like that. Coach Rob Allen in Atlanta, showing me the routes to the college guys and how they work out in the off season. I think that was big for me too, because at the end of the day, how many videographers are going to be at Ace Bailey's game? 25, 30? How many guys are going to be at Ace Bailey workout? One. So that's how you get, that's the one way that I really noticed that I could get ahead is by covering the workouts day to day in the summer. It might seem boring to film. Like I'm just watching a guy shoot threes for 2 hours, but the fans want to see the behind the scenes. And I think that's a big way for videographers to separate. I think On the Radar is a great place for players shooting basketball to start. I know I've met a lot of good videographers that way because the EYBLs, the big events that are down there are just so tough to get access to. OTE is also a great place. They're very good about media. And for as big as they are, I heard y'all talking about them on a previous podcast. Their access is great. They're really there to help people. And they don't treat, one thing I liked about them is they don't treat any media member above another. You're all on the media list. You know what I mean? And that I think that's different. So yeah, finding places like that, just finding players that'll rock with your content too is big. Finding guys who will work with you even when your camera work isn't as good as it should be, like to start out. So I think like for me it was Cam McDowell, Chase Cormier, players like that, Chance Moore, who even though my camera wasn't there yet, like they were still rocking with me. Hey, come out to our games, and you just form those type of relationships along the way. It really is about relationships, meeting the right trainers, meeting the right coaches, the programs that are going to rock with you.
It's a good point. And then Bacon, man, I mean, it reminds me what that last thing he just said just reminds me of you, man. That's your footage, bro. You like to go behind the scene, like go to football real quick. On the football level, bro, like you do behind the scenes. Like we got some content about to drop on Gainesville. That's dope. Like we got a behind the scenes look at their facilities. That is your game, bro. You do a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Like you don't, but you do a lot of behind the scenes stuff, man. Similar to what Greg was talking about with his brand. So I throw it to you, man, to ask whatever questions. But I kind of like that about you too. You know, a lot of people are doing that, but you do it, and I think that's what allows some of your stories to really take off, man. And just going behind the scenes and getting the look that not everybody else is getting.
Man, I appreciate that, man. But great. I feel like matter of fact, I know it's been when Chance and Cam was playing. So however long this has been, I don't want to flash back on time. But whenever East Coweta they played McEachern on that road game, you had a little shortcut there. I'm like, who is this at the? I was at the base, but I knew by how you was locked in. I said he's somebody that's grinding, and the next day, I think I already been familiar with Greenlight Media, but I didn't, Facebook not with the brand, but I think I seen you post. I said that was him. I should have went up and said something. But we're gonna move on to the questions, man. You talked about on TV stuff, so just kind of elaborate on that and just let the people know what that's like.
Yeah. So now, actually, our system, I'm really proud of it. It's taken a couple of years to like really get to this point, but every day in the college basketball season, we have we call it a tracker, like a spreadsheet that me and my guys fill out. We're tracking 85 to 100 players every night, either players that we've filmed previously, guys from the Atlanta area, or just guys that we see like highly on our draft board, or just players that have asked us to track them and get footage out for them. And I think that's been big. I think adaptability has been really big with Greenlight because I think covering the Atlanta area on the ground, like videography, and going from high school to high school, I realized I could only do so much as one person. And I kind of had to accept the fact that even though it was kind of like swallowing my pride, that I needed to grow and I needed to find a way to get into the college space a little bit. And I didn't have the funds, obviously, to send videographers to every college game or even get media passes to every college game. So it was like, oh, how can I get a foot in the door? And it just started by posting TV footage, really, pulling clips off YouTube,
Gotcha.
pulling clips off Twitter, just literally everything I could do. And now I'm lucky enough to where I can send a videographer to a different college game. And now like collaborating has been huge on Instagram, like the collaborative feature. So having those colleges like Auburn has collabed with us a few times this year, Tulane, UGA. Wow. Yeah. So having those colleges like post something and collab with us, or we'll post some of their players and they'll collab with us. Like that's been huge to grow our audience, because now I don't think we're just appealing to the Atlanta high school basketball fans. We're just appealing to basketball fans at every level. So I think adapting and knowing that we needed to grow and we needed to figure out a way for the company to still be around in college, because while we're in college, because if we're in college, we knew that we had the reality check that we couldn't be at every high school game. And as much as it hurts me, like I'll see some of these guys' stat lines in Atlanta, and I'm just like, damn, like I wish I was at those games, but you can't get everything. And that's the tough part about it. But yeah, being able to adapt to the college level and knowing that I'll get footage on the ground when I'm back home and I'll find other ways to get it. So kind of like the by any means, I guess, strategy.
I like that. Just kind of elaborate on just building a network with other videographers. A lot of, in this space, man, it's tough and it's easy to build relationships. You got a lot of people who want to do it's me. I'm the guy out front. Because a lot of people still think they can do it by themselves, but obviously, you're wise enough to know that it takes a village, it takes a team to do something special. So how have you kind of cultivated relationships with other videographers that still have boots on the ground?
Yeah, I think with videographers, there's just so many talented kids and guys just doing it now. Like there's just so many great people in that space. It's really taken off. I remember shout out to like Kashi V and Ultra Films back in the day. Those are two of like the guys that really got me into it when they filmed like Davon Smith and Sharif Cooper back in the day, and those players. But there's just so many talented guys. So for me, it was always just like, well, I knew the videography business was kind of like, it was really competitive. And I would notice that a lot of guys weren't rocking with each other. It was a very competitive business. Like they wanted to one-up each other. But for me, I was always like, I know that my content and quality isn't as good as far as like the video editing and the mixtape style. So for me, it was always like, I'm going to try to form a relationship with this guy. I'm going to try to get to know him. And I think just like getting as many contacts as I could on the ground, and always knowing that, hey, maybe this guy will be shooting a game that I need eventually, or maybe like our paths will cross. I think now, like with my guy, Carlos Rodriguez, C-Rod Films in Augusta, it was kind of the same way. We'd always cross paths. It was cross paths, and we would just be kind of on a name-to-name basis. And then eventually we kept growing individually, and we realized it'd be beneficial to partner up. And now he does a ton of work with me at Greenlight. And I think just forming those type of relationships, I'm still great friends with a lot of guys on the ground, the J-Dope Effects, the Nasties, the Eli Made It's, like those guys are like still my guys at the end of the day. Like there's just so many people in the space. So I would just say, like, as far as I kind of went to the strategy with like, I'm not going to try to outdo somebody. I'm just going to try to form a relationship with them. And even like when they would post, I'm just commenting like good stuff, like, giving them the love they deserve, giving them their flowers. I think a lot of times like people are so quick to say like, I want my brand to win, that they forget that just helping out and showing love to other people, that's not going to hurt your brand. It's not a one-on-one competition. Everybody can have a place at the table. That's kind of like how I view it. So
that's dope perspective, man. You sound like you have your old jaw going on 36. But, nah, for real, brother's got some wisdom. It's probably the Greek thing, a little Aristotle vibe. You listen to his Stoics. But
appreciate that.
Most definitely, brother. Just talk about the AAU scene. We've been hearing a lot of news about in the Euro League, I won't say Euro League, but in Europe, they kind of take more of an emphasis on practice, and America's been getting a lot of pushback on like, hey, y'all playing a lot more games. We see it a lot with Alex Sarr, the other brother who's now the number overall rated prospect, just kind of getting a lot more light. So do you feel like the AAU space should change? There should be a lot more just not as many games and sprinkling in a little more practices?
Yeah, I think that's a really tough question. A good question, but I think that a lot of it is that the brand of basketball being played at a lot of the AAU games that I'm looking at, it's a lot of solo ball, it's a lot of individual ball, and I think that a lot of the guys coming up in Europe, it's really team oriented, and I just see that just the culture that's surrounding AAU right now, it's just very individualized, and I think that a lot of it comes down from the adults, right? I think that these kids are under so much pressure. And a lot of it is understandable, and it's tough. Like, it's definitely a thin line because I think there's a lot of good things in the AAU scene right now. I think there's a lot of great people, and I think for the most part, everybody has good intentions with it. But I think getting more team oriented, getting guys that putting emphasis on team basketball and winning, I think that would be huge. And honestly, just like the flipping teams, you guys have seen that. Just guys are at one team one weekend, one team the next weekend. You can't.
Right.
I don't think that helps you as a basketball player. And I think just for a player by player basis, I think that it should be known that you don't have to score to win. And I think that we've seen that. I think that that's been a big thing that I've seen is the kids who accept the fact that maybe that's not their role. Maybe they're not a huge scorer. I think of I forgot his name. I'm blanking on it, but Ace Bailey's teammate, the one who gets all the rebounds right now. I don't know if
Doji.
And Doji. See,
Yes.
He knows his role, and it's going to work out for him, right? If he knows that Ace is a scorer on the team, he knows he's got to grab the rebounds, he's got to grab the blocks, he's got to make other plays in other areas. So I think that, just like building more all-around players and knowing that they don't have to be wired to score. I think that Overtime Elite is an example of that. A lot of the players that come in thinking that they have to score and that they come from these backgrounds where scoring is huge for them, and they get there and they realize, oh, I'm not going to be the scorer, and they kind of taper out. But the players who can adjust and get used to the level and really build on their role in that level. I think of like a Kanan Carlisle last year. He went from averaging 25 a game at Milton. He goes to OTE, he averages 9, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. He's able to adjust, and it's paid dividends. He's killing it right now on the Pac-12. So I think the AAU scene really just getting people wired to win and play winning basketball. I think that's a big thing, and that starts with the coaching. It starts with the parents. I think there's a lot of other things, but I think that's a big thing to be keyed in on.
Great answer. Last thing for me now, I'll pass it on to the brothers. What's your major, brother? You know what I'm saying? You're in the media space, but are you a liberal arts guy or are you business? What you doing?
Yeah, so I'm at a liberal arts college. I'm at Emerson College. I play soccer up here, but I'm a sports communications major, so kind of like this avenue is perfect for me. And then I'm really interested in the business side of things, so getting a minor in entrepreneurship, I think it kind of ties in. I'm really lucky because I feel like a lot of people they tell me, like my friends are like, I'm not studying what I want to do, but I feel the exact opposite. Like I'm like the professors I'm meeting, the people I meet, I just feel like I'm just right in the right spot right now. So just trying to get my degree. I'll be finishing up next fall. So yeah, and then hopefully, I don't know if I want to go into a graduate assistant type role with a program because I really like the team aspect of it, or maybe just try to get a job at some basketball organization out there. But I know that my passion is in sports. So,
Godspeed, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What you got, Jerome?
Yeah, man. Looking at Greenlight Media, it's like, for me, I feel like it's like the basketball version of Inside the Hatches. Like you got a lot, like you parallel a lot. Very heavy in the media. You know how your upbringing kind of came up. I think it was really fascinating. So I want to kind of go back in the business part of that. What made you, Greenlight Media? How did you come up with the name? How did you come up with the logo? How that all kind of came up for you?
Yeah. So for me, I just like the term Greenlight. And because my name is Greg, I just thought like Greenlight Greg, it would kind of go like the sound. And then I guess like it just kind of came like as a nickname playing rec league basketball with my friends. And they're just like, oh, Greenlight Greg. And I just always had a passion. I knew I wanted to have a platform for sports. I just knew it from a younger age. So I knew that as soon as I had the opportunity and COVID kind of gave me some time, that Greenlight Media was going to come about. The new logos are up on the pages, by the way, so those are brand new. But I kind of knew that the traffic light concept would fit in for basketball and the way basketball is going with perimeter shooting and just like the 3-ball. So I kind of figured that Greenlight would be the way to go for it.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So obviously, starting a company is not easy. You gotta run the people there. You gotta run, the social media. You gotta run, the business aspects of it as far as getting revenue and stuff like that. Tell us some of the challenges that you came about and some of the nuances since becoming, the CEO that you are, basically, to get this thing going and get it running the way you are.
Yeah, I would just say that the unseen hours, right? I guess that's the tough part. Everybody just sees what's on your page. They don't see the drives to Southeastern events in the Southeast. They don't see the plane rides to just the day-to-day grind of it. I'm thinking specifically to events that I've covered for 4 days, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 4 straight days. And it's just like, man, is this worth it? And just always having that inner tuition that you just want to keep pursuing it and you want to keep going after it. Some people have the drive, and I feel like I'm lucky enough that I do and blessed that I do have that drive. And I think that those, like I was saying earlier, the days where the money isn't coming in and you just have to push through. And I think also the challenges are just the social media space, right? It's the algorithms, the numbers, you're like, why is this not doing well? I spent hours on it. And I think just realizing that sometimes your posts are going to go up and sometimes they don't. That's something I struggle with still. But I think just realizing that you just got to keep creating and keep putting stuff out there and really just believe in your mission. Just believing that I just always know that deep down, I'm like, Greenlight Media is going to grow. I just have to keep going. I just have to. And I think that's just you just have to have a vision. You have to view your company in a way that nobody else does. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. I mean, since Naj told me you was getting on, I did a little studying on your page, man. It's beautiful. So keep doing what you're doing. Great stuff.
I appreciate that.
Definitely. Tell us a little about connecting with other people, not only just the videographers that you brought on, but people, in the media area. Because, I know us three, we all kind of have that same feel. We connected with each other, and then that's how this podcast started together. And then we started, expanding from there. So tell us how that's working for you and how you got into where you are, where you're so known so fast.
Yeah, I think on Instagram now, the collaborative feature is so big for what I want to do. And I know that it's a big way to kind of introduce myself to a lot of creators in the space. And I think it's a good way for ideas to come together. And it's kind of something that I've been utilizing. I know there's some big accounts that I'll reach out to, and it kind of just forms a relationship from there. So that's one way to do it, just starting on social media. I think it's a good way for creators to mix their content together. But on the ground, I would just say that it was really just taking any opportunity I could. I think a couple of times I would do some freelance work for a Slam, a Who's Next back in the day. There's Sports Center Next now, but taking freelance opportunities, just always saying yes is something that I've learned to do. Just if people need footage, I try to say yes. I try to help people out as much as I can. And just meeting as many people on the ground as I can and staying in contact with them. Maybe that's the hardest part, actually, just knowing that you can't just meet somebody, you have to stay in contact with them. So literally every day I'm writing down a list of people that I want to connect with during the day and how it relates to Greenlight and keeping my tabs with people. So I think that even in the NBA Summer League, y'all asked earlier an event that people in the media game need to go to. And if you want to get into basketball, I can't think of a better spot because you just have access to everybody out there. So literally NBA Summer League, you're walking around the arena and you're seeing GMs, you're seeing executives, you're seeing scouts, and it's just introducing yourself, keeping contact and stuff like that. So I think just finding events too is a big thing, finding events where people are going to be at. I'm sure for football, y'all have y'all's events, probably like Corky Cal and the state championships and all that stuff. But for basketball, I would say all the intro tournaments that On the Radar hosts, different stuff like City of Palms is big for high school. So just finding those type of events where media are going to be at and being open to meeting people is big for it.
Definitely, I like that, man. Now, my last question, I'm going to give it up back to these guys. I'm asking this question for a friend. So Just so you know, somebody that's really into football, but football's over now, so they're trying to get into basketball.
You ain't got to say it's a friend, brother.
You could have just said you.
dog.
That's you. That's you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I would just say for that, there's no better place to be in than Atlanta. Just thinking about the guys that have come up, you got Jaylen Brown, you got Anthony Edwards, you got Colin Sexton, you got Sharif Cooper, you got Isaac Okoro. Those are just some of the guys. And this year out of Atlanta, you got Collier and Castle, who in my opinion are no doubt lottery picks. And the year after that, you'll have Ace Bailey going top 5. And then the year after that, you'll have Caleb Wilson going top 5. So it's right there in your backyard. I know football is like a passion for a lot of people in the South, but especially with the playoffs coming up, playoff basketball, nothing like it. A lot of the student sections are going to be super into it. So I would just say, yeah, just getting out to as many high school games as you can. I think it's easy. Like it's kind of harder in Georgia with the college team struggling a little bit, but I would say that like the high school level it's awesome. So having an appreciation for the grassroots level and then hitting a Georgia Tech game and a big ACC play, a Georgia State game, you got a lot. Kennesaw State, obviously. So
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, my friend thanks you, man.
No doubt, man. And to kind of expand off that, I got to go with what Greg said, man. Definitely go into OTE. Like when I say the access is there, like you want to see some really good basketball, like they arms is open, man. They really welcome you in, man. That's some high level basketball. That's really where a lot of top prospects go, before they go off to school, man, just to kind of refine their game. And like he said, kind of just be a good all around player. So that's another good one too, Jerome. My question to you, man, just far as prospects, man, who's been the best one you think you've seen so far in your career, and who do you think is the best player in this 2024 class?
Man, 2024 class, I'll say that for a while I was set on Cooper Flagg. I was like, this guy's the most polished player. What he does on both ends, he's just polished, right? I think for me, I was always like, Ace has the long term, like Ace Bailey can do things Cooper Flagg can't do. That's how I see it. Ace Bailey, his shot making ability, he makes shots that Cooper Flagg I don't think would attempt, and I think that they're both so good. So it's tough for me, but I'm leaning Ace now, definitely. Having seen him a lot this summer too, I do think Ace Bailey's the number one player. I have seen both of them play a lot in person. I've seen some great performances by them in person. I've seen some Ace Bailey 40 and 50 pieces. I've seen when Cooper Flagg went toe-to-toe with the Boozer twins and beat them. So I think giving both those guys their flowers because they're both going to be awesome for a long time. But as of right now, I'd say Ace Bailey. I also appreciate that Ace is at a public high school carrying the load. And I think that goes a long way, too, for his development, being able to get all those shots and be able to be the main guy and be a leader, whereas Cooper's in a situation where he's with so many other stars. And it's not a knock on Montverde because I'm a big fan of their system and what their coaches do, but I think there is something to be said for an Ace Bailey being able to carry a team like that and do what he does. Best prospect, wow. Ace is really up there. I used to always say that it was Scoot Henderson. I don't know if he's the best prospect I've seen, but seeing those games at Kell High School in person, it was a sight to be at. So it's tough for me to do that. There's been a lot of prospects that I've really, really liked along the way, but yeah, Ace is up there. And I saw him a lot on the radar too. So maybe that's why I have the bias working for
top three.
Yeah. I mean, Ace is up there. He's elite.
No doubt. And then I want to play a little bit of devil's advocate. I thought you put up a good point when you were talking about 24 class and how you kind of like that Ace is at a public school doing it. You see a lot of athletes too. Like I give you an example. You probably know him. He went to Kell, Peyton Marshall, right?
Yeah.
He was there. They just won the state championship. Now he's at OTE, obviously getting experience. So what's your thoughts overall, man, of athletes, one, either staying at public and not playing always the D1 talent every single night, but then when you go to OTE or these major academies, you're playing D1 star talent day in, day out. What's your thoughts on that whole aspect?
Yeah, I think it's really tough because it's a lot about the individual player situation, I think of like a player like J.D. Davison coming up in Alabama and playing at like such a low level in the high school ranks there. On one side, he's a legend in the state of Alabama, maybe one of the best high school basketball players to come through the system. But at the same time, if he would have gone to a big prep school, maybe he would have been more ready and adjusted at Alabama, and maybe he'd have been a first-round pick, which would have earned him a lot more money. So like there are two sides of things. I definitely have a soft spot for players leaving after they won a state championship. So I would say like the Peyton Marshalls and the Kaden Carlisles, like you've kind of already accomplished what you set out to do in high school. And I also really I don't mind at all when players go for their senior year, because I think it's like a lot of them, especially in the era we're in now, like these guys are treated like pros at such a young age. So it's really like you're going to high school for 3 years, and then it's kind of like you're in between high school and college at OTE, because it's like a step up. I think it's above the high school, obviously above the high school. So kind of getting adjusted to that your senior year. And I definitely think that for a lot of players, staying at your public high school for your first 3 years can only help you. I've seen players too that have gone to 4 different high schools, and it's not beneficial. So yeah, I think that there's pros and cons to both, but it really just depends on the individual situation, because there is something to be said as staying at your local high school and winning, but there's also the other avenue where you're going to a prep school and you're building your game, you're learning how to play with great players. So I think it's the best of both worlds.
No doubt about it, man. And then now I want to transition to the college game before I throw it back to Bacon. I want to get your thoughts, man. Like USC, having all that talent coming in, we felt like they were going to be a really, really good team this year. Just give your kind of thoughts on that a little bit. And just talk about the whole – I'm not going to lie to you, man. I think this year, like, it has the chance of being one of the better years for college basketball. I know last year was a little bit of a letdown. Only reason I bring it up is because of the parity, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's like right now so many ranked teams are losing, right? Usually you'll see a very dominant team in college basketball, but there's so much parity now. And then now what I love too, and get your aspect on this, the top players are now going to schools. Like before, it used to be, okay, they're going to go to the G League, play for G League Ignite. But now you got the Cooper Flash going to Duke. You got the Isaiah Evans going to Duke. You got Ace Bailey going to Rutgers. Dylan Harper going to Rutgers. So just talk about that aspect too of seeing some of these top guys now going back to college.
Yeah, I would say with the first part of your question, it just goes to show how hard it is to win in college basketball. There's so many dudes. There's so many good players. Like there's guys that, I mean, people don't even see on social media. I think early on in the year, they played Long Beach State, USC, and it's expected to be a blowout. Oh, what highlights is Bronny and Isaiah going to have today? And you play against a guy, I forgot his name, but the guy in Long Beach State was hooping. And there's just so many guys like that in college basketball. These guys are sticking around now for 4 and 5 years. They're in no rush to leave. A lot of them are kind of finishing up out of their COVID years. So there's just a lot of guys in college basketball. For USC, I think it's tough because they have a lot of talent. It's just they're in a tougher conference than people give it credit. The Pac-12 is good. We have a lot of Atlanta connections now in the Pac-12 with Davon Smith at Utah, Kaden Carlisle at Stanford, Zay Collier and Arrington Page at USC. So that's a deep conference. And I don't think people realize people don't realize too that talent, it doesn't win. You know, talent isn't going to win every time. Teams got to mesh. The coach, they have to respect the coaches. They got to want it. They got to want to win. They got to buy in and realize that it's not just going to be we're going to have fun and, you know, be a leap year to the NBA. Like you got to buy in. You got to be all in. Definitely see that in football too, right? But yeah, I think that's a big thing. As far as like the parity that you mentioned, it is so hard to win on the road in college basketball. It is brutal. I think of the Big 12 right now. It just seems like any time a team goes on the road, they can't win. Like Kansas last night, Bill Self getting ejected. Even like UNC and Duke coming to Georgia Tech. Shout out to Damon Stoudemire. I think that even though they haven't had the best success this year, you can definitely see a culture shift, and you can see things this year at Georgia Tech that you haven't seen in previous eras. So, yeah, I just think it's just so hard to win on the road, and it's gonna shape up for a great March Madness. There really isn't a clear favorite. If I were to pick a team right now, it would be UConn for me again to repeat, just because they have the pedigree. They have a great combination. I think right now the key in college basketball is having the combination of experience with talented young guys coming in, going into the portal and recruiting. You have to do both. Sometimes a team will go all in on the portal, and it's really hit or miss. Like Arkansas this year, they've struggled a lot. They're not going to make the tournament. They were all portal guys. Danny Hurley at UConn, he goes and gets a Cam Spencer from Rutgers, a Tristan Newton from Eastern Carolina, and then he's recruiting a Steph Castle, a 5-star from Newton. You know, he knows how to win. He's got Klingon too. He's got enough guys coming back, And I just think that's the recipe. So I think I would say UConn right now, just because of their championship pedigree. There's a lot of great teams, though. So it's going to be tough to follow my bracket. A lot of it's just going to depend on the matchups, I think.
No doubt. I'll throw it to you, Bacon. Appreciate you answering that, man.
Yes, sir.
When it comes, it looks like you're in the library right now. Those pictures behind you. But how do you just kind of control your time management? How many basketball games are you watching on a weekly basis?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I didn't want to take the call from my dorm room, so I just booked a little study room.
Yeah.
For my routine, I would say that I'm trying to watch as many games as I can, and it just depends. Kind of, part of me is just like I'm so ready to be done with school. I just feel like, man, I'm ready. Because of how Greenlight's going and just where I see my future in basketball. I'm like, I'm so close. Like, just let me finish up. Like, that senioritis is kicking in, but trying to watch as many games as I can. I think when I have something like Greenlight too, sometimes it makes it tough to just appreciate the basketball because it's such a content thing. Like, hey, I'm just thinking about it from, who am I going to have to post? So kind of finding the balance to where I'm worried about content, but also I'm just consuming basketball and enjoying it, making sure that love of the game doesn't fade. But I would say that I'm probably trying to watch 3 games on a Saturday. That's like the main day. Probably I try to watch, I guess there's 7 days a week. I'm watching 7 to 10 games, trying to fit that into my schedule. But I mean, for me, it's just like, I can't be talking about basketball if I'm not watching it. And I think that goes for a lot of people in this space too. You can definitely tell when guys are watching it. So.
Yeah, for sure. Dang. I was so locked in. Just elaborate a little bit. It's kind of back to the time management thing. Soccer season's over, right? It's about to start up.
Yeah, it's in the fall.
It's in the fall. That's right. So, dang it. Jerome, help me out, and I'll come back.
All right, cool. So I was gonna ask about, you just talked about balancing, watching the games and being able to watch the games, and also fatigue. How do you keep yourself from being fatigued? Because I watch football all day. Even in the off season, there's the draft, the combine, stuff like that. And I know it's the same thing with basketball, but there are times when I'm just like, I'm burnt out on football, like, which is crazy because I love football. I made a whole company about football. Is there times that you get burnt out from just basketball? And if there is something that kind of like copes you from that, obviously, I guess soccer would be the thing for you. But is there anything else that kind of like keeps you from like, having that fatigue in basketball?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking about this recently because I was kind of getting in that lull of just like, man, it's just like daily, every day. Like, I just want to watch the games and enjoy them. But a big thing for me is going to the games in person. I know you mentioned that I went to a game at Harvard, kind of just like going to a game in person and kind of realizing, man, I'm really doing this. Like, I really love this game. I'm really lucky to be working in it. So I think balancing what I do, like just behind my keyboard and going to stuff in person, because a lot of it, I really miss the in-person aspect of it. So trying to get to as many things as I can in person, and also just like playing basketball helps me bring like the love of it back because I'm still like young enough to, really like play it as much as I can, like pick up. So yeah, I think those are 2 big things. Yeah. And then just like exercising too, because sometimes like this sounds so basic, but man, if I don't exercise, then I feel like I'm not myself. Like I just get too stressed about what I'm doing. Why aren't the numbers doing well? What do I have to do today? I just get overwhelmed. And then it's crazy how a 20-minute jog or, just a quick exercise makes you reshift your mind. So I think those things are big. And then, yeah, going in person, working out, honestly, just planning ahead too. If I keep like a to-do list or a plan ahead of my day, then I'm much better going about it.
Definitely. Now, tell me one time where maybe there's an event or something that happened with the company that like really sticks in your mind. You're just like, man, like that really happened to us. Like, tell us that moment for you.
Yeah, so it probably this is such a lucky thing, but so I went up to one of my first big breaks with Greenlight was the first year. It was a few months in, and I got invited to cover Team Thad. They're out of Memphis on the EYBL circuit, just their tryouts. So I was already pretty happy about that. Like I was like, dang, it's a big opportunity. They have a lot of good players. Some of the players are Chandler Jackson's at Florida State now. Bryce McGowan's with the Hornets. Solomon Washington's with Texas A&M. So they were pretty loaded. So I was just excited to do that. It was like one of the first times I got to fly up there. And on the last day of the camp, Ja Morant shows up fresh off his Rookie of the Year. And I'm just like, oh, my God. So, yeah,
Wow.
Ja Morant's there. They actually have an alumni versus current players game. And I'm like holding my camera shaking. I'm filming Ja Morant all of a sudden. He's going crazy. He's dunking. He has his own little dunk contest with the players after. The whole arena's hype. I put out a reel of Ja Morant dunking over a 7-footer on Team Thad, and I checked my phone in an hour. ESPN posted, Bleacher Report posted. It seemed like everybody had posted it. And for a company at the time, I think, now I'm at 30,000. I think I was at like 2,000 followers maybe on Instagram, and I'm just looking at the followers. I'm just like, dang, like these hours have paid off. Like, I'm just
That's
like,
what's up.
yeah. So I think like those type of breaks are huge, and probably a little bit lucky, but I mean, maybe there's not a videographer who goes up to Memphis for the price I took it for. So maybe I kind of look at it that way. Like I was willing to say yes to the opportunity no matter what, and it paid off for me. Maybe Team Thad would have approached another videographer and he would have said no because I think I deserve more money. And I think just like those little opportunities, if you take them, and sometimes they turn into something big.
100%. All right, I got one more question, and Bacon, you can actually answer this too, because we're all videographers, we all edit and stuff like that. Because I have a story myself. What is the one time where you did something and you're just like you had the perfect shot and it didn't work out for you? And I had one myself. But what was that one shot that like you was editing and you're looking at it and you're just like, oh, what happened? Like why? Like it could have been like you messed up, somebody else messed up. What's that one moment,
Man, I think part of what I was like doing in the beginning to try to get an ad up on other companies was I would post clips right after they happened. So I knew that videographers like that I was competing against and that were bigger than me were going to wait till after the game. So I was like, man, I'm throwing this up during the game. And I thought I got a big play from Scoot Henderson. And I just hear I'm editing on my computer mid-game, and I just hear the crowd erupt. And it was like, it was a crazy, like I think it was either a windmill or a poster. And I just had to kind of reevaluate things after that. But there were a few plays like that I would miss. Also, just like people don't realize like camera work is hard. Like you're gonna miss stuff like to start.
You're gonna miss more than you think.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So I think just like the trial and error of it, just like there was so much stuff I'd miss in the beginning, and a player would contact me after the game, and I would just be like, man, I missed it. And I don't think a lot of the times the players or parents understand like the trial and error of like the actual difficulty of learning a camera. But there were definitely moments like that where I would be kicking myself.
Now, I don't know if how it is with basketball, but recording football, you don't always get a chance to like follow a person the entire play and like get that play and get that player to get to that player. So there was a time where I was at this tournament and I was literally locked on this kid, came off the backfield as a running back and did a wheel route. And I literally I don't know why. Like I just followed him the entire time, and I had it from beginning play to the end of play. He went like this and dropped the ball. I was like, oh my God.
There's those moments, man.
It was the perfect moment. I was like, you don't get an opportunity like that a lot in football because you don't like. Sometimes you get the quarterback and the quarterback throw, and you have to go to the player and catch the ball.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Play.
Especially football, because I feel like in basketball, if I'm going to film a big player at the high school level, like I know they're going to give me 20. So if I miss a bucket sometimes, then I'm like, oh, it's good. But for football, like for a receiver, like a 5-star receiver might catch a touchdown in a game, you got to get it. So it's definitely different.
Correct. It's crazy. But go ahead, Bacon.
I just want to ask you, man. WBB is growing right now and its popularity finally. So have you and the guys kind of wrapped your head around like I mean I know it's a lot going on in men's, but have y'all decided to go after WBB and not just the upcoming?
Yeah, I guess like internally, it's always been something that I've wanted to get into. It's just like with our college schedules, it's so frustrating for me because I see it's blowing up, right? And I see that like the level is increasing, the exposure is increasing, and there's a need for it, I think, at the grassroots level still. Like where men's is like so populated and there's so many people there. Because a lot of people are like, oh, why don't you post Caitlin Clark? Like, why don't you post Angel Reese? I'm like, I don't think that's where it's needed right now. I think it's needed at the high school level. And I need to form more connections, but it's something I really want to do in 2024. And it's probably something I should have already done. It's just like, it's nothing like about the game. It's just about obviously the numbers. I just don't have it right now. And I think also financially I have to get my numbers up there a little bit more before I go into it. But no, that's a great question. Honestly, like if I were like to give myself like a few critiques of what I could do better and like self-evaluate, that's like one of the big things, like, cause it's just like, you're missing such a big avenue. So hopefully soon I'll be able to get into that.
I know when y'all get in, it's gonna be crazy. But content when you're kind of decompressing or just looking for inspiration, like I watched $1 Million Worth of Game. I type into David Goggins a lot. Who's somebody you kind of watch, kind of just, you know what I'm saying, get you going back right, or just kind of just maybe decompress for a little bit, man? What content creators you watching?
Yeah, I guess for like the big things, I love to watch the 30 for 30s by ESPN. I think that kind of gets my juices flowing because it kind of reminds me that, for a lot of these players, like I'm telling a story, and who knows, like one of these players, like a Scoot Henderson, maybe they'll need my footage one day when their documentary is being made about them. So I guess kind of like that, just bigger perspective. For content creators coming up, it was Ultra Films and his Grayson stuff. It was Cashy V. And then there's a lot of the guys that are in the mixtape business, like Nashy FX, J-Dope FX. There's a lot of big content creators in Atlanta specifically that really helped me get into it. Especially like with Sharif Cooper's year, he had so many mixtapes coming out, and I was like, man, this stuff's cool. So I think that was pretty big. I think that just like always finding time to kind of plug away Greenlight Media and maybe just like start going to YouTube and start learning about more content creators that can only help like get my juices flowing. I think that there's a lot of also just like just looking at bigger accounts too on Instagram for me is sometimes big, like just going to a Bleacher Report, going to a Slam and seeing like how they're setting the trends and how I can maybe find something that they're doing and adjust it a little bit and go from there. But at the same time, there's that other side of it where you're like, I don't want to keep doing what other people are doing. So kind of trying to just get a blank sheet of paper and jotting stuff down, just random ideas, like brain dump, just get everything out. It could also be equally beneficial.
Does Greg take any days off?
Not during the season. I actually think that I've posted at least one post to my page on Instagram every single day of the college basketball season this season. So,
wow,
that's dope. So, last thing for me, man. You don't put too much of your family, your personal life out there, which is a good thing. Just kind of, I know for me personally, man, I know right now it's like a big sacrifice time for like family. Like, I just went to some of my cousins for Super Bowl Sunday for the first time in a while, and me and my partner got up yesterday for the first time in a while. So kind of just what's it like, man, separating work from family time, and how do you kind of appease the family and keep them like, Greg still comes around, I still love y'all.
Yeah. I guess one thing that Greenlight, completely separate from basketball, really showed me was that which people are going to rock with you no matter what. Because when you start your own business, as you guys know, there's going to be people who are like, what are you doing? Like, what is that? And I think it was like, especially coming out of high school, and a lot of those people are still at that age of judgment. And people would come up to me, oh, you're doing that filming thing now? Like, oh, you're doing that basketball thing now? Like, what even is that? And you know what I mean? Like, just kind of knowing then immediately, like, who's there, like, who are going to be your close friends going forward, and people who are going to rock with you no matter what you were doing, and being there day one for your business, like supporting you, I think that kind of opened my eyes right away. As far as the family side of things, I would say like with my girlfriend now, it's kind of like striking the balance, right? She's like, oh, do we have to watch all these basketball games every day? Like, are you going to put your screen down? Like, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. So like finding that balance. And then same thing with my dad and my sister at home, like just knowing that sometimes like it's better to put the screen down and be with your family. It's still a learning curve for me, because honestly, like sometimes it's tough for me. Like if there's a bunch of games on and like I know there's content I have to get out, like it's so tough for me to know that, hey, like I'm not gonna be able to get that post up. But I think realizing that stuff's more important at the end of the day, and the people that's supporting the people that support you, right? Because a lot of times like I get so caught up in Greenlight that I kind of have the tendency to maybe forget about what somebody in my family is doing or a close friend is doing, and making sure that my time isn't just consumed with Greenlight, and also is supporting what they're doing because they see what they're doing the same way I see Greenlight. So make sure that I look after them too.
Most definitely, man. That was a great in-depth answer, man. The last thing for me, I'm gonna try to make it as amusing, as fun as I can off the fly.
All right.
Let's see. Dang, I bet. All right. If you had the opportunity, well, if you were playing one-on-one with Malaysia football, how would it go, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
You gonna get the bucket, you gonna end up on your ass, you know what I'm saying? What's going on?
I can't stand when people are like, oh, like I'm giving her buckets, like I'm giving, like, you know what I mean, like how people view like women's hoopers. I'm just like, oh my God, people are so full of it in the comments on social media. So I'm gonna be straight up and honest that I would get cooked by a player like that, of that level.
For sure, man. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming
on. Jerome, I just had like one or two more I want to ask before I let him go. Is there anything else you have before I close? Okay. I wanted to ask you, don't reveal too many secrets on this question, man. Just I'm curious though. What goes into getting some of these clips from TV? Like, what's kind of your thought process? Let's say you see I seen you do a post recently, Rob Dillingham. He had an incredible bucket. I think it was like a minute plus long video. When you see that, like a TV clip of a player balling out, what's your thought process? How do you get it out so your supporters and your fans can kind of see it?
Yeah, so I guess like for me, knowing that with a player like Rob, there's so many people that are going to post him. So it's like I've gotten really good at it just because when I would film stuff, like I was saying, I'd post stuff in game. So I think that my like ability to get a clip out before anybody it's always huge because at the end of the day, you're fighting against the algorithm and the first ones are going to do the best. And I think like kind of realizing sometimes that you have to sacrifice the quality of a post just to get the post out is big. So I think for me, like knowing when a big play goes up and being organized and prepared beforehand, right? Like say like a Cohen Carr is playing, a Rob Dillingham's playing. Like I have those guys circled and like highlighted before. So I know that I have like the post notifications on for Michigan State and Kentucky if they're playing. And as soon as I see the post go up, like it's opening one of those whatever Twitter video downloader pages and getting it straight up. So yeah, I kind of say it's like kind of like the by any means thing as far as like getting a post up quick.
No doubt about it, man. And then I wanted to ask you too, just far as you talked about kind of the grassroots on the women's side. Do you feel like, in your opinion, do you feel like high school basketball, not saying like not including like OTE, not really including the preparatories, do you feel like some of those schools, do you think it still gets the same exposure as maybe like the other, big time leagues, the OTEs, some of these big time classics, just like the regular high school hoops, like a Friday night and high school hoops?
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. I think a lot of it just depends on where a player's from. Like, I think in Atlanta, there's a very good media base. And I think that players and their brands are already built up by the time they get to college. Like I'm just thinking about like when Scoot Henderson's coming out, like those classes, it seems like every player comes out now in the Atlanta area has like 10,000 plus followers for the most part. So I think Atlanta does do a good job of it. There are still like the players that are going to fall through the cracks. Like I'm thinking of a Jeremiah Wilkinson at TSF, committed to Cal. He averages like 35 a game. I don't see any footage out on him.
Facts.
Yeah, and there's always going to be those type of players that maybe the media misses, and maybe the media, I guess like even myself included, definitely could do a better job of realizing that there's players out there that aren't getting the love. Maybe we don't have to be at every single Caleb Wilson, Ace Bailey game. So I think it's definitely favors certain players over others. It's certainly beneficial though for players that are on like the Nike EYBL Scholastic scene or whatever, and all the big prep schools, because each game's on ESPN. And I think it's really key now, like what I'm doing and what a lot of these other media people are doing, because these kids, like a lot of how much money they're going to be making in college is based off how big their social media followings are. So I think the media game is bigger than ever, right? Like their NIL evaluations when they get to college is so much to do with high school, more than you think. So kind of realizing too for parents and coaches of high school programs to be helping these players with their social media pages early and to help get their names out early, because at this day and age, like you're missing out on money if you don't. So, and I know that like social media isn't everything, but as far as players getting checks, like it's a big thing. So.
No doubt. And then the last question, I'll let you get out of here, man. What is your favorite thing about the sport of basketball? And then as an aside to that, what was your thoughts on the viral dunk? I know you've probably seen, I think you posted about it, just Ace Bailey windmilling poster over someone else. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Wait, what was the first question again? My bad. I was zoning out about Ace Bailey.
No problem. I said, where did your passion kind of for the sport of basketball come from? Everybody have different avenues. Some people like soccer, football. What did your kind of passion from the sport of basketball come from?
Yeah, I think for the sport of basketball, it's just like how much can go into the final play and like just the energy in the arenas. I think there's nothing like it, like after a big dunk in a basketball game or after a game-winning shot. I know we have some football guys, but for me, that's what it is. And even like the starting lineups before a basketball game, I think no matter where I'm at, like if I'm at Harvard, if I'm at a high school game in Georgia, as soon as like the lights dim and I hear the starting lineups, like I still like get the same chills. So I think just like, yeah, like just the game aspect of it. And I think the thing I like most about basketball too is when players finally make it and whenever they're able to give back to like their communities and, you know, help out their families. Like for me, like that's just, it's dope to see. Like even like a player that I've covered since like freshman year, like Darion Reed, to see him like make the McDonald's All-American game. It's so cool to see like just the reactions from family and everything. So I think just like it's still for me, just like seeing the players have success and being able to give back. And then, yeah, like I said, like the excitement of a gym before a game. And then, yeah, that's the best dunk I've probably seen at the high school level, just to be honest. I to be able to do that, a windmill over somebody in an and one, like I don't think people like that is just, it's different. There have been some great dunks that have, like it was making the rounds. Like, did you see how everybody was comparing it to other dunks? But
Yes,
it's up there. It's
Yeah.
definitely up there. There's
is
some
that?
great,
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say like Seventh Woods in high school had some crazy dunks, like Zion. But I mean, catching it out off a lob, he was like his body was like falling forward. It was crazy. That was special.
Yeah, and as a side to that, I was going to ask you: is that the best play you've seen this in high school basketball season, or is there another play you would say?
This season, yeah, that it has to be for this season. He's probably had plays that are up there with. He's probably rivaling himself with other plays like that. But
Right.
for me, it's that play. Just like the fact that he can do so many things on a court that nobody else can do. That's what makes him so special for me. But
No doubt.
like I don't think Cooper Flagg is making crazy blocks and stuff, but it's not like I don't know. That was just different. That was a crazy play that like you just kind of like look at it again. You're like, oh my God, did he really just do that? So I'd probably say that play. I know there's like a lot of other good players in high school basketball, but yeah, that was good. You'll see a lot of great players plays at OTE too, like Ian Jackson on the Jelly Fam. He's cold. Yeah, but I think that one takes number one for me.
No doubt about it, man. And as we let you go, man, go ahead and plug your social medias, your X, your Instagram, whatever platforms you on. Just how can people reach you? How can people find you, man?
Yeah, so Instagram is just Greenlight Media, no underscore, no anything, and then Twitter is ATL Greenlight, and TikTok is _ Greenlight Media. YouTube is Greenlight Media, inactive, but you can still check it out. Maybe I'll be having a podcast soon. Y'all have inspired me tonight, but I really appreciate y'all for having me on. It's been dope to kind of talk about it, and I think just even being on a podcast shows that like what I've done has grown a lot. So I really appreciate y'all and what y'all do, especially for creators. Like Luke Winstall was on. I knew I had like Live to Grind on, like those type of guys, like shining light on what people are doing in the underground. So keep doing y'all's thing. I appreciate it.
Most definitely.
No doubt, man. So once again, man, that's Greg from Greenlight Media, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. Love what your work do. You have made fans and supporters out of us, man. And we support your content, man. You go give them a follow, man. Go subscribe. And we are glad, man. We are pioneers for you just to be able to get out there, man, and show your face, man. I think you do a good job on the podcast, to be honest with you. And you know you who.
I think I talked a little bit too much, but
Nah, never that, brother. Never that.
Insightful, like, no, bro. You'll be great on the podcast, man.
All right. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great night.
Yes, sir.
See you, man. All right, y'all. So there he goes. That is Greenlight Media. Go subscribe. Go follow him, man. Just love that, man. I really like the platform we building, man. It ain't just about us, but getting people out there, man. And I felt really good. We got some real good praise also from Coach Daniels, man, when we had him on with me and Bacon, seen him at Gainesville High School. So just love that. I think we got to continue to do that. And that's the platform we want to build, man, not just for the players. Obviously, we want players to come on the show and give their insight and their ideas, but also creators, those that have to struggle through the dark. I think a lot of people do not get to see that. What we have to do as creators, we don't get paid a lot sometimes, journalists even, and just being able to shed light on what people are doing, man, I think is a great platform. I think it's going to continue to grow, man. So what's your thoughts?
Man, I just love the love, man. I love the love from, our guests. I love the love from our viewers, man. It just tells that I feel like we're doing some great stuff by putting people's faces out there, man. So this is like my dream podcast, man. This is what I wanted to do, like be able to not only have a podcast where we're just giving out information, but being able to show the love, and be a community with our viewers and our guests. So shout out to Greg, man. I know this is your first podcast. You did an amazing job, man. I know you probably watching it right after this. Listen, man, do your thing. Get on that podcast. We would love to get on. Do your thing.
For sure. Yeah, man.
Anyway, we can support and help. Trust me. After
Anyway, brother. Anyway. But kind of piggybacking off what y'all said, man. This is like kind of Jerome said, this has kind of been a dream thing just to have like people on and tell their story, man. My whole thing is to let people tell their story. But the biggest thing is letting these other people know and upcoming journalists and content creators know that this ain't for the week, player. This ain't not for the week, man. I know coming out, we was like, man, we finna get out, we finna be Stephen A. 2-3 years out of college, I'm be like this with Skip and shit, but it's not. It's far from that. The industry is changing, so you gotta pay your dues, man. You gotta do your time, man, and just allow them to see this, what's going on, and hearing it from like, oh, I watch you, like I aspire to be him, or I aspire to be Nigel Book, I aspire to be somebody like Inside the Hash, I aspire to be Bacon. Like to hear their story, that it's a grind, and the earlier you get started, honestly, it will cut down your mid-20s, your early 30s is just like grind, getting out of the mud and manifesting. So I just feel like it's big for the upcoming generation. That's what it's all about, man. Just letting them hear what's going on. But like y'all said, it's a dream come true, even though I'm sitting inside my room.
hey, me too. Me too.
And photos are on the way too. This plain background will not be. Next week could be different.
Yeah, I'm about to upgrade this too.
I got to upgrade on me.
Upgrade on the way.
I should have kept on the hush.
But listen, like I have wholeheartedly know that with this platform and support we're getting and the guests we're getting on, this thing's gonna go crazy. And one day we are going to be able to get in one room and bring guests on. So I know that's going to happen very soon. I don't think that's a 2-3 year thing. That's going to come soon. So trust me, I already had that in my head. I'm just like, how we're going to get this done. So I've been talking. We'll talk after this podcast. So I've been, talking about a little bit on the side. But yeah, man, we're going to get that soon. We're going to get that soon. Trust me.
Yeah, our own production team.
Sir.
We just the hosts. No editing or nothing. We just hosts.
After the show, like this up. Thank y'all for coming. I get too quick. My chair's got sets in
it. hey, had some props too, bro.
Yeah,
had some props on the show, But yeah, man. So yeah, once again, man, shout out to him, man. We're gonna continue with great guests. I feel like all of us do a good job. Jerome getting the players, just phenomenal. Getting some of these people to come on, Bacon. The players you've gotten on here. Both of y'all doing a stellar job, man. Just getting people, all of us, man. Just prime time coming on the show, man. It's outstanding, man. But let's keep going, man. We still got about 45 minutes to fill before we wrap up tonight. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what me and you seen Bacon at the Army Bowl. I'm gonna start with you, man. What did you see? Let's talk about it.
Man, the Army Bowl was, if I can get my thoughts together, it was an honor to be there, knowing its history, what it was previously, and them kind of bringing up what it's going to go to now and having previous players. But it was special, man, especially to see Jaden Daniels get the first official invite, man. That was dope. You got to see a lot of talent from out of state. We got to see a kid from, I got to get his name, from Jacksonville. It was super dope, man. Just to kind of, and then the content creators capture the star was there. And like how Greg was saying, y'all been saying, like, you go different places, meet people on the ground. You know what I'm saying? You never know who you're gonna meet. So I always enjoy going. Not to mention I drove up. Me and my brother Nas, we carpool. So you know what I'm saying, anytime I get to interact with my brothers, man, I just have a great time. But but real dope talent. A lot of good talent, man. Everybody works hard, is trying to chase their dreams. So that's my early thoughts, man. What you think, Nas?
Yeah, man, more trips on the way, brother. More trips on the way,
Come
man.
on
We're
now.
gonna be tapping into the football and basketball scene, of course. When we had time for show. I think just big stuff on the way. But yeah, man, I agree with you. I think it was a good event. It was nice to kind of be there. I made that a priority. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was kind of on my New Year's thing. I wanted to do was just be at more camps, be kind of expand to the next level, get on college level, and be able to see some of these athletes, see the differences. And that's all about the expanding and growth. If you're staying in the same spot, you're not growing. And that's the key for everything for me is just I want to grow. But yeah, man, I loved it. I thought they put on a good event. I love that it's coming back around. They're allowing these athletes to be able to get put on that stage. I know they had like a non-disclosure agreement, like they couldn't do anything for 5 years, but now they'll be having that game back at Frisco, Texas. Man, we able to go. We can get invited. And I think that'd be lit. Both is great for both of our careers.
Right.
Helping us expand and build relationships and connections. But yeah, man, a couple players that stood out. I talked about it on the space with Coach Daniels. I love the Anthony Crua from Marietta, the linebacker. I think he has a bright future. I think he's going to be able to do some great things in this game. The dude, Durham, that you're talking about, making the quarterback left-handed.
Yes.
Throw the ball really, really well. I think his name is J-Rock. Outstanding player, man. Just you could tell, get it out the mud. Just all about grinding. Seeing some of his videos on his Instagram, I think he's phenomenal. I also like Caden Kent. Nobody's talking about him, but he's from Northside Columbus. I gave him a shout out on my Twitter. I think the kid's going to be special. Has good footwork, good velocity on the ball, can throw a deep ball really well, very accurate. I think he also has a very, very bright future, and in my opinion. So that's another one that stood out to me. I like the dude, Michael Kyles from Grayson. Going to be interesting to see. I know Travis Burgess is pretty much going to probably end up being the starter, but I think they are lined up very well having him under. We will see how he looks for Grayson this upcoming season as well. But I like him. I think he has a bright future. Obviously, Jaden Daniels was very special when he was there. I thought he did some great things at the running back spot. I like Sawyer Wilson out of Alabama. Nobody's really talking about him. A young back, but I think has a bright future. Or junior going into senior year. I think he got a big time year coming up for him. So I can't wait to see what he's able to do. And I think I'm trying to see if there's anybody else in my notes that give me one sec, y'all. I'm sorry. Let's see.
There was also a wide receiver at Northside Columbus. I'm trying to get his name right now. I wrote his number down. Nobody talked about him, but I watched his film and brother, quick off the line, real quick, shifty wide receiver.
The other one, no doubt, man. Bacon is looking that up. I got one more quick one, and I'm gonna throw it back to him. I really like the Caden McKenzie. He's actually cool thing about him. He's out of Brookwood, so probably be able to see him this season. But the viral play I thought he had, he just absolutely do out of the way. I think he has a bright future as well. Good feet, can really protect. I know that he's probably going to be used on both sides for the Broncos, but I think he has a bright future as well. But those are some of my standouts from the camp. And I love what they put on, man. I think they're doing good with exposing these athletes.
Most definitely. Definitely my guys. I talked about him on the space with Coach Daniels. What's his name? Danny Clark from Northeastern School, Northeast Georgia, not too far from Athens, right across from South Carolina. Man, is a physical offensive tackle. Man, just technique was solid, strong, violent hands, everything that you want your offensive lineman to do other than decide. He's a little undersized, but oftentimes, size is high key, but oftentimes I think we can make some exceptions. You know what I'm saying? Looking at his high school, he doesn't play high A, doesn't play like 4, 5, 6 A. He play like maybe 2, 3 A ball, but it'd be exciting to see him, you know what I'm saying, play higher up in competition. We don't get to see that in the off season too much because we don't have anything for the big men outside of camps. But definitely look at his film. He's pushing defensive ends, linebackers, whoever coming in to get into the foxhole with him. He's pushing them 5 yards off the ball. So anytime you can do that, that's a check of at least a scholarship, at least to look at him. Hold on, y'all. I gotta get this other defensive end that I saw. And coach just put up a Mason when I want to shout that out of a Northgate. Coaches in the trenches. Coach Daniels always working, man. Noonan product. But let's see who else we got. Oh yeah. Can't forget about this. This I ain't gonna say it's a viral clip, but if I had a bigger platform, I probably would have went viral because this was funny. It's a hole there, but nonetheless, you know what I'm saying.
That was a good clip, though. You did a good job with that clip. I'm surprised it
Appreciate it.
didn't go more viral than what it did.
Facts. It's just algorithm to reach, man. You know how it is.
That's how it be. Yeah, man. I'm already knowing, dog. I'm already knowing.
Yeah, y'all got me a little jealous. I ain't go, man.
Hey, you got
was ready for the-
Senior Bowl content, dog. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
You got Senior Bowl content, man. And
Man.
speaking of, actually, before we go to that, let's talk about the one this weekend, man. First off, have y'all heard anything?
for UA.
Anything?
Nah, I
It was last Wednesday that we got the email.
Yeah.
So let's see if it
Okay,
happens.
so I'm gonna hold out until Wednesday when I get home. If not, I'm gonna have to pull some string. I got to tap into that, dog.
What's going on?
Hey, come on, man. All that talent, bro. And I'm already guys asking me, yo, Nas, you gonna be there? I'm like, yo, like they had 3 players hit me up. Nas, you gonna be there? I'm like, bro, I'm trying to go. Trying to go. You know what I'm saying? So okay, so I just wanted to see y'all updates on that. Okay, y'all about in the same boat as me, man. Okay, so hopefully, hopefully next week we can react to that because that's gonna be a major topic next week.
Twin, we in there, bro.
Yeah, we got to do something about that. All right, so. No doubt.
I have my Senior Bowl, not my Senior Bowl, but my U.S. Army Bowl content type.
No doubt.
Everything else is good though.
True that. What was I gonna ask? Did y'all have any big recruiting news or updates? Any reactions, Jerome, that y'all had just from what y'all seen?
No recruiting stuff. I know that there was a lot of signings. Nothing really like popped out in my mind that was like surprising, to be honest. I knew most of them. There's a couple of guys that went to smaller schools, and we kind of understanding that nowadays with the new transfer portal and stuff like that. There's gonna be guys that have to go to small school and then transfer out. It's just the nature of it now, where recruiting these big Power 5, even other D1 schools, it's going to be hard for them to just get into a lot of those. So you're going to see these really talented guys going to these small schools, and you're just like, wow, what happened? Like, he's so talented. But, that's just the nature of it now, where it's kind of like a prove it kind of year or two, where they can go in, do well. And then most of these colleges, they're scouting more other colleges rather than the high school players. So, it's just the nature of how it's going to be nowadays. If you're not used to that, just get used to it, because you're going to see a lot of big, talented players going to smaller schools. It's only a good handful of guys that's going to be going to these Power 5 schools. So,
like Coach Helinski said on the recruiting space last week, we got to find a way to bridge that gap, right, with high school players and kind of the transfer portal in college. I 100% agree with them, and it's tougher for them. It's less spots available, and I think NCAA needs to have more scholarships for high school players. They might not be ready to play year one, right? They still got to grow into their bodies, but I think you brought up a great point, Jerome. You might have to be able to bite the bullet and go to a D2 or go to a lower D1 school and go ball out. I mean, an example for me is Jahmyr Gibbs, right? He went to Georgia Tech. He's from Dalton. He ended up transferring to Alabama. Now, that is Power 5 to Power 5, but he did that, got to Bama, balled out, and now he was in the league this year and had a really outstanding year. I mean, you see it all the time. Kids going, or walking on. You might have to walk on and go perform and get your spot. It's tough, man. It's a tough scale. But sometimes, man, go for schools that want you, man, that really want you. And make sure you know if the offer, I think the biggest thing, and kids got to know, is this offer committable?
Yeah.
And then from that point, the response you get, okay, do I want to continue to work to try to get this committable offer? Or will I go to a school, do a year there, excel, do well, and then be able to transfer up? There is that possibility. So I think kids just got to be real with themselves, be transparent, and realize what the end goal is. If you got a school that's going to pay a full 4 year of your tuition and everything and cover everything for you, why not go there, get your education, and then do whatever's next. Football is not forever. Whatever sport you're playing is not forever. Just have a good game plan, I think, is key, and be able to kind of find a free education, guys, is still a great thing. And a lot of times you can get paid to while you play now. You have that opportunity too. So I think that's something for athletes to think about a little bit and do what's best for them.
100%.
Most definitely. I agree with what y'all said, man. Like a lot of coaches said, not just Coach Clancy, Coach Daniels. A lot of people been saying that for a while in my area. Coach Derek Teagle, man, the whole Powerful Life family. They talk about not just being so fixated on the D1 offer, man. Just it's nothing wrong with taking, like I said, the first 1-2 years, go somewhere and prove yourself and transfer up, man. You know what I'm saying? The experience is going to be there. The money's not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You're going as a man, young man, going as a scholastic. So there's nothing wrong with betting on yourself, man, especially when you got the transfer portal eating up, at least 75% of those.
No doubt about it. You're 100% right, man. So that's what it is, man. I think that's it for as far as our football topics. I know we've seen some major guys. Travis Smith narrowing down his list to top 8. Georgia Tech was on that list. Montrezl Walker top 5 with Colorado, Penn State. Ole Miss being on that list. I'm trying to think, is there anybody other major prospects in Georgia? I know that so far who has kind of narrowed it down. No Georgia Tech things yet. Any guys watching on my channel? No commitments, but they have been finalists. Go check out that video I just posted before I came on air tonight with my co-host. Go check out that video for guys that are finalists for Georgia Tech.
Really good video, Naj, for real. Really good video. I was listening to it before we came on too. That was a really good video, bro. The breakdown.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. So yeah, y'all go check that out. As far as what's going on with Tech, but if y'all have nothing else with football, I guess
I got a little something.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Of course, we got to recognize AG Aaron Gregory for receiving the very first, I believe it's the first, or one of the first official invites to the, what is it? Not Rivals on 3. Is it
Under Armour.
Under Armour, that's right. The Under Armour game, man. That's tough. That's tough. So, man, kudos to him. For South Carolina news, did some reading and researching, man, on 3-star commit or 3-star signee now, Dante Reno, right? Of course, we know the early fan favorite to be the QB1 because it's a big question mark. You got Norris Sellers, can't remember his name, the recent transfer in from Auburn. But Dante Reno has been in the USC camp since 2022. So when Shane Beamer was going through the whole protocol of hiring the OC, of course they hired Dowell Loggins. He was keeping them in the loop, like, hey, this is who we're gonna hire per the Go Gamecocks on the Upstate newspaper. So he's been kind of in the loop with the OC. He's been kind of, I assume, in the loop with the offense, even though I believe he was a sophomore at the time. So, you know what I'm saying, just keep eyes out for that Gamecocks fans, just football fans in general. And that's the scoop on the football for me. Again, apologies on the U.S. Honorable. I got to come. I might be still looking through my phone to get some of these names out there. That's gonna rub me the wrong way if I don't.
No doubt about it. I'm trying to think, do I got any major news? I don't think nothing on the horizon. Watch out for Gainesville. Might see something there soon as far as what they got going. Everybody knows about DJ Bordeaux news. Transfer from Alpharetta to Douglas County. Me and you, Bacon, already kind of knew, but I gave you the scoop on that. I just didn't break it. But that is official now. So it'll be interesting to see. He got a lot of pressure on him, man. I'm not gonna lie. They gonna want to perform. All that talent they got, that defense that they're gonna have coming back. They definitely, and I think it's probably one of the best jobs to have, in my opinion. I know it's gonna be a lot of pressure, but throw it up to Aaron Gregory, go get it. You got James Johnson as well. I mean, he's another prime-time player, man. So Douglas County gonna be one to watch. I think that's it. I don't really have nothing on the sphere. Yeah, that's it, man. I think that's gonna wrap us for the football news, man. I think let's go to hoops. 3-man weave.
3-man weave. Man.
Ladies
and gentlemen, we got the famous 3-man weave, 3.5-man weave, who we have our special guest on. But today we got a lot of big news, and I feel it's only right that we talk about the big NBA news, man. See if I can get his name right. Of course, we know that Alex Sarr, I believe he's a 7-footer out of France, has been the #1 overall NBA prospect for a while now. But now we got, I don't know if I'm saying this name right, Zachary Rachir, 18-year-old wing. I believe he's 6'10", wing from France as well. He's been catching fire as of late. He's been shooting 75% from the 3-point line. He's 6'10". He's been able to guard 1 through 5 per ESPN, man. So I just want to kind of get y'all thoughts, you know what I'm saying, on this.
You said 75% from the 3-point line?
If I'm not mistaken, man. And then maybe not that high. Maybe not that high.
I'm about to say that's crazy.
45.
Oh, I think you said 75. I'm like, hold on.
Let me check my tweet.
Hold on. Stephon Curry guy about to be.
He said Stephon.
It gotta be 45. There's no way.
46%. Excuse me.
That's good. All right, that means you were saying.
Yeah. That'd be beat the percentage numbers. Yeah, 46% from 3, man. So, what's your thoughts?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I've seen that name floating around.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest, bro. I have not really heard too much. I did see some updates on him. I'm reading his bio right now. According to NBA from Australian National Basketball League, apparently he's been balling. That would be the second year in a row. I do know this. This will be the second year in a row that a France player is taken number 1 potentially. And it's kind of interesting. I'll bring up this part because Isaiah Collier for a long time was locked in as probably that potential number 1 overall pick. So I think it's intriguing that, as you mentioned, Bacon, he's started to kind of generate some steam. I mean, if you got a 7-footer that could do a bunch of stuff, I think that's big, and he's another big front court player. I'm going to defer to you a little bit, Bacon. I don't know a lot. I don't want to speak on something I don't know as a journalist, but I will be doing some more research and have a better take. But I think it's interesting, that dynamic of having another France player potentially go number 1 overall.
Yeah, man, I just think it leads back to kind of the whole dynamic of the Euro play style. They practice a lot more games. They play more team-oriented basketball. So you see these bigger, I like to call them, what I call them, Euro center point guards could get ready to come to take the league by storm. They're ready unicorns ready to come in and take over, man. And not able to score the ball efficiently and have more not sporadic movements, like, you know what I'm saying, they got the crossover hesitation, but they got more like Luka's got the one leg pull up, you know what I'm saying, it's got the step back. They got more simple moves to score, which fits more of a team-oriented basketball, as well as being giants handling the basketball. You know what I'm saying? He's just watching the little film that I saw. He facilitates more than score, but obviously an assassin. So just super versatile. It's gonna be interesting to see if Sarr doesn't come back and take the number 1 spot. He's come back from injury, so he's been playing kind of flat as of late. That's why I decided to give it to the young man. But it's gonna be interesting to see. Man, if it's me, I'm gonna always go with the size more times than not. I'm gonna take Sarr, just because, you know, it's tougher to guard 7 foot than it is 6'10", but nonetheless, he's talented. And then to be 18, man, that's some LeBron James stuff out there.
Yeah, no doubt. Real quick before we go to the next topic, I want to kind of run these names by you. You probably know them a little bit better than me, Bacon, but just this top 10 mock draft. This is from Gary Press of CBSSports.com. I just want to get your thoughts on it. Alex Sarr, he got his number 1. Reed Shepard from Kentucky has him as a number 2 going to San Antonio, above who we're going to talk about in just a second. Zachariah Resarcher, probably saying his name wrong, from France. Then that's the other name you mentioned. Rob Dillingham, surprisingly, like I said, his teammates going above him. Reed Shepard above him. Right. I know Dillingham has been in them conversation. Cody Williams from Colorado, Jacoby Walter from Baylor, Dalton Netch from Tennessee, Nikola Topic from Serbia. These 2 names, we know them very well. Isaiah Collier from USC at number 9, Stephon Castle at number 10, and then Kyle Filipowski from Duke. Just what's your thoughts on that list?
First of all, I gotta start with Kyle Filipowski, man. If you haven't watched his film, that's who the Hawks can go. He can hoop. That's who I feel like he's gonna slide around where the Hawks are. Maybe that's who the Hawks needs to go get. I feel like he's a cross between Nikola Jokic, and it's another forward. I got little Tim. Got some post forward. Obviously, he can shoot. He's just a lot more agile. Nikola Jokic, obviously, he's a lot slender. He's, you know what I'm saying, he's up and down, looks well in shape. Dude's gonna be a big deal to handle with come the tournament. But another name that probably should be on that list is Bugelis G League Ignite. Not to go off the beat too much. He's been playing a lot well as of late in the G League. He's getting a lot more comfortable. I'm going to see him upcoming March, so I'll be able to give y'all in person, in depth look. But he's not as quick, not as fast. But you know what I'm saying, just along a forward that's gonna do numbers in the league as his body matures and as his game matures. But let's go to Reed Sheppard, man. Who I think I would take Rob Dillingham over Reed Sheppard, but
that's what I'm saying. I mean, now I have not seen a lot of Kentucky. I'm gonna be honest. I might have seen a game or two, but you know, I got to do a little bit more. I'm gonna be honest. I've seen a lot of Kansas. I've seen a lot of North Carolina. I've seen a lot of Tech. I've seen a lot of what's the other team? I've seen some Baylor. I've seen some Houston.
Okay.
I've seen some South Carolina. But what's kind of the difference between those two? I mean, that's kind of high to have Reed Sheppard. I've heard nothing but Dillingham's name. But in your eyes, just expound on that a little bit.
I think that CBS list that you pulled up is a little dated, obviously, with them not having the younger Frenchman in the number one spot. But Reed was a savior for Kentucky coming out. He was shooting the cover off the ball. He still is shooting the cover off the basketball, shooting 52% from the three, which is why he's probably rated so high, shooting 80% from the free throw line, 50% from the field. Those are all elite. You know what I'm saying 90% is the elite of the elite in the basketball world, but 80% is nothing to wipe your nose at. But Reed Sheppard's been super efficient. Was a savior for the Kentucky team early on, so I think that's why Rob kind of coming off the bench, coming in a little slow. That's why he's why there's a difference there. And then just kind of speak on the Baylor guy. I've been trying to get around the Baylor basketball, but just talk about him a little bit.
You mean in general, or you mean like I just meant like the team?
No. I believe on that mock draft, it was a player from Baylor that you named.
Oh yes. I'm sorry, Jacoby Walter.
Yeah.
I mean, I like his size, man. He's averaging about 14 points a game. He's number 5th prospect, number 2 at his position at shooting guard. 6'5", got about 6'11" wingspan. This shows that he can score in spurts. I think he's shooting pretty good from 3. Maybe some prospects or some scouts might not like the 34%, but I think that's about on par with what you see in the NBA, about 35, 38. Steph's a little bit different. He shoots it at a historic clip, but I like his ability to be kind of an asset on both ends of the floor. Sometimes, we call them two-way guys now, but I feel like too many guys are predicated, as Greenlight Media was talking about tonight, just score. I feel like now you got to be well-rounded, bro. You got to be able to rebound the basketball. You got to be able to defend at a high level. You got to be able to hustle for the loose balls. You got to be able to affect games in different ways other than scoring. Being able to play make and create for others. All that stuff is valuable. So I like his game. I think he could be a good primetime prospect.
Most definitely, man. It's gonna be a lot in the draft, man. As it shakes down, I really don't like to take the mock draft serious until we kind of get.
That's true.
Really midway through the tourney, at least
towards
the end. That's when people kind of show, what I'm saying, all right, what they're gonna do in big time moments. You know what I'm saying? Right now, people gonna pop up and do big things, just catching their momentum. But when you get down to, all right, who's for real, who's gonna give us a bucket? You know what I'm saying? Pressure situations. Exactly, man. At the highest level, the pinnacle of college basketball, is where we really evaluate. Like we're trying to go to the Under Armour camp. That's a big time. You know what I'm saying? That's where you really evaluate under the lights, under the most critical circumstances. So I think my early diamond in the rough right now is definitely the power forward from Duke. I really like him. Bujelis. I like Bujelis. Dillingham, obviously, and somebody who they're not really talking about right now is the power forward from Houston. I can't remember his name, but I like him.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. And I'm gonna continue to say the same thing. Definitely Collier. Collier should definitely. I don't know. He's shooting decent. Let me see. I think I got his numbers up before we get to the USC topic. He's shooting. What is he shooting? USC. I don't have his free throw numbers up, but the free throw numbers obviously could be a lot better. The Achilles heel, what we saw in the McDonald's All-American game, missed the free throw. So honestly, man, I wasn't knocking him to come back a year or two, man. He can go out, you know what I'm saying? People want to get to the bag, get to the money, but if we want to talk about players wanting to bet on themselves and play D2 or lower D1 tier in college, let's do the same thing while we're in college. You know what I'm saying? Let's be more, especially when we got the Euro players coming in. Let's be a little more prepared. Let's tighten up our free throw percentage. Let's tighten up, you know what I'm saying? So our offensive game, so we get down to the NBA level. They're not shipping us down to the G League, excuse me, for a year and a half, 2 years. Like JD Davis has been in the G League for 2 or 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. He was a highly touted prospect coming out of Alabama, coming out of high school. So let's stay in college a little bit longer, get more polished. Castle, another name. Yes, you can come out and get your bread right now, but let's just be a little more polished. You come out the bench right now. There's nothing wrong with that. You're still gonna be a lottery pick, but you stayed those a year extra, 2 years extra. Now you're top 5. Now you're top 3. Now your bag is different. You know what I mean? Now you're not just putting that 20% of your income that could be $200K. Now you're going in and it's $500K in investment portfolio. Now you're part of that 70% we talked about earlier, being in the stock market. Now your investment are doubling down. That's just my perspective. But I love the college basketball is going to be a real entertainer right now. But if you have
yes, it is. And speaking of that, before we move on to our next topic, got to get your reaction to this. I'm going to share this screen with you guys. This was talked about. This is per report. Power 5 commissioners open dialogue on NCAA men's tournament expansion. Power 5 commissioners open dialogue with NCAA president Charlie Baker regarding a desire to expand the NCAA men's basketball tournament, per Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports. Commissioners of SEC, Big Ten, ACC, Big 12, and yes, even Pac-12 open dialogue with Baker about their wish to examine NCAA tournament expansion during a January 25th meeting in Washington, D.C. The NCAA men's basketball tournament has seen much expansion since 1985, when March Madness expanded to 64 teams. So that's a long time. That number rose by 1 to 65 in 01, including a play-in game. The current number is 68, set in 2011, which saw the introduction of what's now known as the first 4 before the 64 team is officially set. So what is your instant reaction to this news, Bacon?
First off, am I here? Am I timed out? Probably timed out. I'm here. All right, good. It's a little fuzzy on my end. But first things first, man. I see y'all now. It's good luck with getting that perfect bracket, man. I think the odds just went up in smoke if you put not a perfect bracket. They're gonna span, because who has done one? I don't think there's ever been a perfect bracket. Ever. We can research it later. But I don't think so. So good luck. It's definitely gonna be more exciting. Competitive wise, I don't think it's always going to be crazy things happening in March Madness, because it is March Madness. But
I like it.
I like it for the viewership. But what's your perspective on? Do you think it's going to be competitive?
What? Competitive? Have you seen these upsets? Have you seen Georgia State going there beating a number 14 Georgia State beating a number 3 Baylor? You know what I'm saying? Have you seen a number 15 Stephen F. Austin beating the number 2 seed? Have you seen Duke going out in the first round as a number 2 seed? Did you see number 1 team get beat by St. Barbara, or not St. Barbara, that team from Baltimore? Yeah, I can't think of the team name. The team from Baltimore is the number 1 seed. That happened in back-to-back years? What? Yes. 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 Come on, man. I love this, because you give the smaller school, the little man, right, opportunity to be on that big stage and be a Cinderella story. You don't see that in football, right? It does not happen. Now, luckily, it's going to 12 teams this year, but come on, bro. You do not see that. Yes, I think competition-wise, it's going to be great. It goes back to your point, Bacon. Remember now, a lot of the big schools, some players are staying, but a lot of players are one and done. Remember now, these smaller schools, 2, 3, 4-year pros who are seasoned. Yes. This is one we want to see. Recently, Kennesaw State upsetting a opponent in the tourney. Come on, man.
No. Close. Or did they?
Did they finish?
I know it was a close game with a big school, and they ended up losing at the end. But I think that first game that they did beat it was the second game. They almost beat Gonzaga. I think it was Gonzaga.
Let's see. Let's look that up just real quick.
Yeah, but nah, man, that's a good point. I like that though. You know, you just probably, because like that could be some more John Morant, Damian Lillard. Go ahead, go, Jerome. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, Najee just went off just now, though.
He's
like, are you serious? Doing a little rant right there. Oh,
You put a little Stephen A on me.
Hey, I had to.
Nah.
I think it's great for the game, man. And you're right, Bacon. They
Justified.
lost by 5, but they gave us an exciting game against Xavier.
Xavier,
It's
that's right.
stories like that. And I mean, Kennesaw State like literally took over the landscape of basketball. I thought at one point, not NCAA, but here in Georgia, it was the
Man.
hottest story. You know what I'm saying?
Coach
Without
would
a doubt.
stay.
Yeah,
Must have been the bag.
Come on, man. So that's why I think, in my opinion, I know I went on my little tangent, my little rant, my little soliloquy.
Nah.
If you have it, but I just think it's gonna be great. I just do, bro. I just think it's gonna be great for the sport.
Yeah, nah. That's exactly what Steven says. What that's for my little soliloquy and what have you.
Yeah, and what have you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm passionate about it. I've always loved college basketball. That's something I really grew up on. Watching it with Pops, man, knowing people, knowing Jeremy Lamb when he was at Norcross and then going to UConn and what he was able to do, man. We've always followed college basketball. We haven't done it as much lately. You know, Pops is more busy. I'm busy, but definitely that was where my heart was when I was a little kid. Obviously, I love NFL's top supreme for me, but college basketball was right there.
Do we have a kid story from Najee about Jeremy Lamb?
Yes, actually. Do I have a photo? Hold on.
Oh,
Hold on. I might have to go through the archives. Y'all might laugh. Don't.
Bro.
I was a little kid, so don't go crazy on me. But there it is. Y'all see
look at that little white head.
boy,
So as
like
you
Trae
can see-
Young.
So that's my ring light that y'all see, but here it is. It's out the way. So that's Jeremy when he's at Norcross. That's me, us winning the championship.
Boy, you
We
look
came to
killer
the
out there.
game. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? That was a pretty cool moment. Something I
dope.
always cherish, man. But as you can see, he went on to the NBA, and you know, I gotta thank Coach Rucker. Shout out Coach Rucker, man, for what he did for me in my career, and it's super amazing. I played at Lucky Shoals Park, man. So that is the photo. We'll always have it. Let me see if I have one more. Right for you guys. All right. So this is the classics. Y'all can see there. That's Pops right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He was assistant coach. That's Pops. That's Coach Rucker.
Okay,
that was our best
five
coach.
in.
Yeah, that was our best player right here.
Nah, point these up,
Dude
brother.
was next level. Trying to think. Then obviously that's me. And then he was a pretty good big man. Right here. Yeah, he's pretty big man. But yeah, man, that's taking it back. So
We like
yeah,
that. We like that.
yeah, it's a little bit about me, but yeah, that's the story on Jeremy. That's how I got to meet him, and was always his fan. And when he went to UConn, it was super special. And me and Pops was definitely cheering him on, man. Had a pretty good career too in NBA and in college. So
Did that thing
yeah,
in
man.
college.
No doubt. But what else you got for 3-man weave, man? I know we got some more topics. I mean, we could skip USC. We kind of talked about USC with
Nah,
Green
we
Light,
got to go
so.
USC. We got to go USC.
Oh, yeah,
man.
we can skip USC.
You sure? I had some good stuff.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So the biggest thing for me is it's the free throw thing for them, man. Which is the real separator. Anytime you shoot below averages, they're shooting their team 68.9% from the free throw line. That means when the game comes down in big moments, you know what I'm saying, you're not able to come to the line and ice the game away, man. Guard shooting average 70.8% from the stripe. We got what's the record versus 0-3 versus top 25 opponents. They got Arizona coming up March 9th, so they're gonna have to win that game. And like you said, win conference. They're 1-9 in the last 10 games. Like I say, I think it's a done deal. But you know what I'm saying, the bright star, Boogie Ellis, probably I haven't looked at any mock drafts, but probably projected to go second round in my opinion. Trupon got undersized. Can get pushed off the spot a little bit defensively by bigger guards. But you know what I'm saying, that's just my take on them. I agree with you. I don't think so. What's going on, man? What's going on? I don't think so. I think they're gonna miss the tournament altogether. And I think Boogie's gonna go out and do exceptional things. Probably a G League player for the first couple of years, but definitely could find his way onto a roster, NBA roster, and contribute. But yeah, kind of like an Ish Smith, something like that. That's just my take on that. But with that being said, we can segue into the team. We kind of talked about this with Greg too, but team to beat from your perspective, Nigel Wilkins, in college basketball.
That's such a good question, man. I like when we talked about with Greenlight. I think, man, it's just a crazy year. Like you've seen a lot of teams go on the road getting upset. I really like UNC in their game. I feel like they've struggled. I've liked Kansas too. I know McCullough is a top prospect. I just would like to see a little bit more. I've seen a lot of their games recently, and I know he's hurt right now with a knee injury. I just think like one of those games that they had lost, like he pretty much sold them. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but just decision making. Want to see a little bit better out of him with that. But the team they beat, I gotta go with what he said. I think it's UConn, man. I just think they're so deep. I think Purdue got a lot of good experience. In my humble opinion, with Zach Edey, and I think they got a really, really deep team. But UConn with just the experience, man. He talked about everybody they got: Tristan Newton, Stephon Castle stepping up. Their big men are really, really elite. Yeah, man. I just think top end, I think they are one of the better teams. A team I think can make some noise and potentially make a deep run is two teams. I think Houston can potentially make a deep run. I got to go with you, South Carolina Gamecocks. A lot of people are not going to talk about them. I know they've been moving up to number 11, but I like their depth. Everybody knows their role. Nobody is, I'm a superstar. I deserve all the touches. I just think they got some good camaraderie, good continuity, and I think they're going to surprise some folks. They might get in as a 5 or a 6 seed or something like that, maybe lower, maybe a 7, but I think they're a team, you sometimes see teams go on runs. I can see them going to, an Elite 8, maybe even a potential Final 4 and shock some folks.
Nah, I think I gotta agree with you, man. Unless you're gonna say Purdue, I think you'd be a fool not to say UConn or Purdue at this point. Just a well balanced team, man. What's the the third in overall team point differential, plus 17, man. 9th best in team shooting. So you know what I'm saying, they can get it done on all levels. But I think I really like Duke, man. I just think they're well balanced. They got some experience. What's up? What I miss?
He said, "Stop." He a UNC fan.
Nah. UNC's up there too. But Duke and UNC. They both got some seniors. Some experienced guards for UNC. They got Elliot Cadeau. He's kind of relaxing a little bit. Same thing with Duke. You got Jerry McCain, who's doing his thing, getting comfortable. I think we had 20 the other night against UNC.
Hooping,
bro. And he's like that, bro. Like if Nick in the Cut was in there, you would definitely see. If you haven't watched the Nick in the Cut documentary with Jerry McCain, I'm serious, bro. He's workaholic. Always in the gym. The boy, if he's not working on homework, he might be in the gym right now. It's just a gym rat, and that's what you love to see. That's what you got to be if you want to make it to the next level. But my dark horse, South Carolina, I don't think they have enough to get it done. I like to see more consistency from BJ and Mac in terms of scoring the ball. Mitchie Johnson is nothing to scoff at. He's gonna probably be a mid-first rounder. I like with him. He can shoot the ball from deep, kind of like a little Jordan Poole, but not like a Jordan Poole because he's not as. I don't think he's as creative out the bounce as Jordan Poole. He's creative out the bounce, but not like Jordan Poole. But my dark horse, I'm a Kentucky fan, so I'm always gonna ride with Kentucky, man. Even though we a younger group, but what I'm seeing right now, we haven't really worked Bradshaw into the offense. He's not playing a lot of minutes right now for whatever reason. I don't know if he done some foolish things in practice. I know Kyle quick to put you on that treadmill. I know he still got it, and just run you to get right. So whenever they kind of get everything molded in, I think Kentucky's they're gonna upset a lot of people come to run. I think they're gonna be. I'm gonna go on a limb and say they're gonna be a Final Four team. I really like that team. Rob Dillingham, Reed Shepherd. We're not hearing a lot about DJ Wagner right now. We hear about it, but not like how we thought coming out of high school. So they makes it a couple guys could be year 2 players. I doubt the Kentucky coach is just one and done. Rob's probably gone. DJ's probably gone. Bradshaw maybe. He probably gonna go. Reed's probably gonna go. So Kentucky's probably gonna have a new clip coming in. I mean, Kentucky got the Boogie Flans going there. Brother from it's got the La Quintus gonna come in. But let me see if I can pull up Kentucky stat. I really like Austin. It's not Austin Reeves. I'm going to say the Lakers guard. Antonio Reeves, senior from Chicago, averaging 19.6 points, 49% from the field. So that's just another reassuring thing. We got a senior guard who's somebody Coach Cal can rely on. Then you got Reed. Then you got Rob. And then when they get Bradshaw cooking, man, just a lot of things that they're gonna have to handle defending Kentucky, man, with that dribble drive offense and Rob just doing what he wants to do. So Kentucky's definitely my dark horse, but I'm a Kentucky fan through and through, man. So that's my take.
There you have it, man. Those are our picks as far as teams to watch. Before we continue and kind of close out our basketball, what's your thoughts on UNC, Jerome? Let's get you in this convo.
Yeah, man, they're doing all right. You know, they got one game to beat Duke, and you
Are they
know,
winning tonight?
are they? Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, y'all just lost. Y'all took another L. Y'all lost to Syracuse.
Is Jim Boeheim still out there? I think he is.
He is not.
He's not.
No, sir.
Syracuse always been a good school, man, and I think Syracuse definitely need to get more praise for their sports and football and basketball actually.
Yeah.
So, because they do have some guys up there for sure. But yeah, man. You know, I only watched one game the entire season. It was a good game. I was very happy they blew them out. So, I'm like I said, I'm going to be definitely tapping into basketball a little bit more, especially college, because you guys are killing the game right now with college basketball.
Appreciate you, man.
So I gotta catch up to you guys. I'm running behind, but USC, you know, I hope they do a better. You know, they've been kind of lacking since Roy left. So you know, they haven't been the same team. I think they're gonna be definitely better though. Soon.
Nah, they've been good. What are you talking about? They made it to the
I'm not saying he's not
Final Four.
good, but when Coach Roy was in there, you were like,
I don't do QB like that.
Nah, don't do Hubie like that, man. Y'all been hooping, bro. Don't do Hubie like that. Y'all had some downs, but y'all gotten to some Final Fours. Come on now.
Championship.
Don't do Hubie like that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's been different. We haven't been USC. You know what I mean? Like
What?
It had been like that in a while. Y'all kind of sporadic, but that's just UNC.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, we haven't been like that dominant kind of team in a while, you know? So
That's all right, man.
I get what he's saying. He got a point. I get you
Everybody
talk
wants to
about
be
the
Kentucky.
UNC brand, but I ain't gonna lie. Like, well, Roy, y'all wasn't winning and towards the tail end of his career either, though.
that's
Facts.
true. That's true. That's true.
But I get what you're saying, though. You're talking about the brand. I get it.
Correct.
It's
It's like the Patriots when, you know, the end of Tom Brady's era, and you're like, they're not even playing like they've still been in the playoffs every year, but then you can see that decline. Like,
But this year's a good year for y'all. Y'all should make.
Yes.
I hope
y'all struggled the last 2
Yeah.
games. It look like Kentucky out there, but you know what I'm saying.
Come on,
That's what I
bro.
mean. Like, I don't know what's going on the last.
Hey, y'all done lost 3 straight home games, dog. Hey, I gotta throw a little bit out there. Y'all lost 3 straight home games for Kentucky, dog.
Nah, that's true. That's true. But listen though, they have written Calipari off so many times. Like the year we had the Harrison twins. They wrote us off, and Coach Cal had that flip. That's how Coach Cal needed that flip. And we in there, bro. Come on, this is a talented team, man. Coach gonna get us right, bro. I know people like, man, they lost 3 straight home games. The real Kentucky fan, we know we like this here. Let's beat Ole Miss tonight by 20, and we're gonna ride it out.
Hey, brother. I love y'all takes. I love your takes too, Bacon on Kentucky. Hey, bro, we waiting on a chip, dog. You know the last time y'all won a chip? I just looked it up.
Hold on, bro. But you cannot. We were supposed to win.
Wait.
Carl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, and the coach missed that shot clock violation for Frank Kaminsky, who hasn't done anything in the league. Who paid the refs off, man? That's all I'm gonna say, man. That team was supposed to win the national championship for basketball. Coach Kyle supposed to have 2, bro.
You're supposed to answer that though. When the last time y'all won one?
That year. Was that 2013, 2014?
2012.
2012.
Hey, twin, we waiting, twin. We
Listen,
waiting.
man, we can't. It take like y'all seen that belief. It takes all. Or they talk about mental health awareness. It takes all of us. It can't just be the coach. It can't be the players. something has to be done about this officiating in the game of basketball.
I don't disagree with you, brother. All I'm saying is Calipari, like y'all are a blue blood. It's time for. I just feel the same way about Duke. Like
Man,
y'all consistently year in year out get the top talent. I know sometimes it's
Not
one and
last
done.
year.
I know it's continuity. Not last year. I agree with you. I'm talking about historically, like since 2012. Like y'all are producing Shea Gilgeous, Devin Booker, Tyrese Maxey, De'Aaron Fox.
Would have won that year.
Appreciate you,
Man,
man.
come on, man.
COVID
Like
year.
the year,
Like I said,
that 1 year, like y'all were 40.
It's
Like y'all
all
should
of
have
us.
went 40-0. Like, but y'all
You talk
lost.
about which team?
The team that should have went 40-0. That's all I know. The team that should have won it all. Like y'all were undefeated and y'all like
We
lost
to
somebody. I can't
that was
remember.
that was the
top of my head.
Frank and them, bro. That was to the Wisconsin team, and you can check the film right now. The ball didn't hit the rim. As a high level referee, I understand it's an arena setting. You can't miss that. You can't miss that, man. I'm an intramural referee. You know what I'm saying? I call better games than most of these refs. I just don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Right now, for me being a journalist, it's a conflict of interest. So, you know, so I'll leave that money to the side. You know what I'm saying? Every now and again, I'll serve a couple tables.
Oh my lord.
That's just my take. Something
Hey,
has
I
to be done
hope
about these referees.
Hey, I hope our audience loved that, bro. That was funny. That cracked me up. I hope
Keep
it
it
cracked
up.
y'all up.
Final 14 at least, bro. At least a lot of experience. You know, UConn, Purdue, Marquette's looking real good right now. Another team, but Kentucky gonna be right there to thick things. Y'all can y'all can run this tape back 156 timestamp. Stand on business. But with that being said, bro, we will move on to the WBB, who had a big game this past weekend. You know what I'm saying? South Carolina took on UConn, dominant fashion. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts, brother?
Y'all did it without your best player too. What's her name? Camila Cardoza. I mean, she's out playing with Brazil, so you know, shout out to her. If you want to say that in Portuguese, you say sim. Sim. That's how you say yes. Sim is yes. Sim. Taught us a little something, a little nugget there, brother. Sim.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, I mean, winning that Jerome, what do you mean to say?
Sim. What'd you get?
Mom?
Oh Lord.
I'm dead. Hey, I'm dead, bro. I'm dead. But yeah, man, I think y'all winning that game. Jerome is funny. I think y'all winning that game without your best player says a lot, man. Y'all are deep and loaded. And one of the quotes that sticks out to me is what Coach Auriemma said. He says like they feel like they can't win those games or those big games if they start five all doesn't play well. I think that's very telling. Well, all the time they have the Paige Bookers of the world and how deep usually and loaded UConn is, and I think it's just the parity that we see now in college basketball, right? And I think you guys can fill it up. You guys score in the post and the paint. You guys got shooters, and I think just your head coach Dawn Staley is doing an outstanding job, man. And you know, UConn, I'm not gonna say they're still not the standard, but I feel like for a lot of years they were the standard, the brand of college basketball. And now you're seeing South Carolina as the brand of women college basketball, and I think it's a exciting thing to see. And y'all are doing y'all thing, man. You know, before like it was a primetime matchup, a lot of fun to see. But I think South Carolina is officially the brand. I know they didn't win it all last year; it was LSU, but just the brand. And real quick, I throw it back to you, Bacon. I just love the parity. Like Iowa, number 2 team in the country, they just lost. Gosh, I can't think of the team, but I seen it on Sunday.
Was Wisconsin? Not Wisconsin.
I think it was either Wisconsin or Indiana. Let's see. I can't think off the top of my head.
You good? Kaylin Carr's also 8 points away from breaking the record.
Yeah, she is. Nebraska. So Nebraska got a pretty big win, 82-79. So I just love the parity, man. We know how great Caitlin Clark is. She's trying to pass Kelsey Plum, formerly of Washington, who's now in WNBA, playing for the Las Vegas Aces. As Bacon pointed out, 8 points from the record. But just an outstanding win for them. So I just love the parity, man. It's going to be a fun tournament, and South Carolina is just the brand of college basketball, I think.
Man, no doubt about it, man. Just real quick, what was her shooting percentage? Did Caitlin shoot poorly that game? I know they asked her, was it in her head? Quick. She said no.
Let's see. So they shot 45% as a team. She scored 31. She darn near had a triple double, 31, 10 assists, and 8 boards. So she had a good one. As far as shooting percentage, let's see. I had to go to ESPN.
You good? Kaylin's electric, bro.
Yeah, she's an Iowa legend, bro.
It's a parody. That's a possibility that that she could be a Lee Boston's teammate.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Yeah, she didn't shoot her best. She shot 40% from the field, 33% from three. So not her best shooting percentage.
Average day.
But shoot, 31, 10, and 8. That's average. That's seen a lot.
Right. Elite. She's elite, bro. But back to the we'll talk some numbers for South Carolina. I think we may have one more topic. We'll kind of wrap it up. Get your folks to bed. Get the kids to bed. But what?
These facial expressions from Jerome, bro.
I'm all about the people's sleep, man. I know how it is. So I got to get to sleep soon.
Jerome, like, if y'all don't hurry up, bro, that's his face. If y'all hurry up, look at his face. Hey, we gotta talk the hoops. We gotta talk the 3-man weave, man.
Yeah, man. You gotta get it's all right, brother. It's all right. Once you get acclimated to the 3-man weave, you like, yes, this is my favorite. I love the football, but the basketball is my spot. I feel like I really get a little headroom. Yeah, I like
there you go.
Up and down
the court.
Joe, you be killing me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You need your own show just with antics.
Literally.
Yeah. But what's her name? Tahina Pow, man. Shot 5 for 7 from 3. Really was a spark. The spark plug to that offense, man. I think she didn't miss for like almost the entire first quarter. But a name to know, you know what I'm saying, in the women's basketball world is Ashlyn Watkins. And that's Ashlyn Watkins, man. She's a sophomore, man. Coming up doing big things. She's been going crazy for the Gamecocks in her past. Past 5 games. She had 15-9 versus UConn on 58% shooting. Missouri, she had 9 points. Ole Miss had 11. 11-10 versus Ole Miss. Auburn 14-15 against Vandy. 11-8. You know what I'm saying? She probably didn't play a lot of minutes that game. You know what I'm saying? Vandy, they beat them 91-74. But she's definitely a name to know for the game. She's hot right now. Man, I also want to say this, man. Aside from just basketball, man, I feel like Malaysia football, girls like Ashlyn Watkins are really doing a lot for just women's right now. A lot of times we look at a lot of women's athletes, right? Sex sales. I'm saying, fortunately, whatever your perspective is. But I think, you know what I'm saying, with the game growing, man, you know what I'm saying, the women's game is going to really get outside just, we're picking her. We're going to put her on the swimsuit, my swimsuit edition, which is cliche. But I think the world is really starting to look at their game for what the game is, like highly skilled basketball player. So I just want to put that out there, man. And update, man, on the Chloe Kids interview. I really think it's locked in this Friday around 6 o'clock. The people hit me back. They said Tuesday and Friday she's free. Hopefully we won't get hit with any sickness or anything like that, so we can get that locked in and get that to y'all, man. Get the Tell Your Story Baking experience, man. Be praying for me. It's a big interview for a brother, so keep me locked in, keep me composed, keep my nerves tight. But that's coming up news. That's coming up for news on that. But with that being said, man, I think I said everything I need to say. Unless you have my good brothers have anything to say, I think we're gonna wrap up.
My last thing, quick shout out to Norcross basketball being able to do what they did, clinching their 24th consecutive state playoff berth. That is no slight. So shout out to them. Didn't have an up and down year, dealt with a lot of youth, man. Casey Williams coming in, Jerron Salisbury last year, Toby Ojokwu, but able to clinch their ticket to the playoffs. I thought that was special for them. So just want to give them a shout out. That's all I got for our hoops.
I got a quick question for you guys.
Yes, sir.
Ja, because I didn't get to watch it, but I was following the Nuggets Bucks game. Obviously, we lost that game. But I seen Murray only had 3 points. He only had 3 points in that game. What happened? Did he injured? They took him out? Like, is it low management? Like, do you guys know?
Low management. Sound like an injury, but I can look it up for you. Jamal Murray
has been injured a lot, so that's why I'm kind of like wondering.
I see somebody's left hand.
He just had an off game. I'm like, okay, whatever, it happens.
Yeah, he got injured in the Bucks game. Injured. He's questionable to return. What is the game? I hate it. Okay, he's bilateral tibia inflammation. Sounds pretty painful.
Huh?
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, it's doctor terminology, but, if you think about your tibia, bro, it's right there.
Yeah.
Chalet.
Yeah, that's that big bone, brother.
Bro, trust me, I broke mine before, so I get it.
That's tough.
Lord.
Yeah.
Like snapped it, or you just like fracture?
It was a fracture. It was a clean cut. But having during football, it was funny because the play that I made was literally the game-winning play, because if he would have caught that touchdown, we'd have lost. I dove out to the ball. I dove out and like had my full body fully extended, and I had a DPI.
Drum a dog.
But then somebody ran into my leg and snapped it while I was in the air. It's like, yeah. And it's funny. The funny part is when it happened, I didn't know this broken. They was like, "You good?" I was like, "I don't know." I literally got up. I just fell right back down. I was like, "Yeah, it's broken." It was bad. It was bad.
The warrior spirit of Jerome is on display, full display, ladies and gentlemen. You can't get this anywhere else now. You can't get this on the regular Inside the regular Inside the Hash podcast. You got to come first and foremost.
Y'all
getting to know me way too much, man.
Nah, that's good. This is good for the personal brand, brother.
Hey, it's all good. Y'all got to see my pictures when I was a youth, so it goes both ways. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta get some tidbits on bacon now.
Yeah,
No doubt.
I got you real quick.
He probably finna go grab something, man.
Hey,
where is it at? I got a lot of stuff moving around, but I'll show you. Oh, here it is, actually. No, that's not it. Oh, here it is. This is my tie to the Kentucky fans, man. Alex Portis, I'll tell you out the bag. Send me this via my cousin. She knows his mom real well, and he signed the pamphlet, you know what I mean? The program, signed the t-shirt, you know what I'm saying, to me. So that's my real Doug claim to fame. Not real Doug claim to fame, but my walking papers as a Kentucky fan, you know what I'm saying?
You wrote that yourself.
Nah, but I promise you that. But yeah, from Alex Portis, man, that's my little
Fire, bro.
That's my tie. So official Kentucky fan.
No doubt. All right, let's throw it back to Jerome to wrap us up for the night, man. Get us out of here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Real quick, if I throw it, Jerome, shout out to Greenlight Media one more time. He gave us a comment on your live on Twitter, Bacon. I just want to bring up the comment, and then I'm gonna throw it to Jerome for the official wrap up. Hold on one second. He had a really
locked
good
in on the social. I'll be right here with it.
No doubt about it. Dang it. Okay, here it is. All right, so he said officially, really enjoyed it tonight. Thanks for giving my guys and I at Greenlight, at ATL Greenlight, a platform. Y'all keep up the great work. So wanted to give that comment a shout out officially on Bacon Network's X/Twitter. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I sent it to you, Jerome.
Yeah, and shout out to Coach Dennis from last week, man. He gave us a little. Not only he gave us a comment, he gave us a little short video talking about us and our platform. So I thought that was really cool that he did that as well. Yeah, you didn't see that much?
When he did that?
I got
like the next day.
Yeah, literally the next day. He was in his car. Yeah. Shout out, man.
Had the red hat.
Oh, yeah. I seen that. Yeah, he was in the car. Yeah, no doubt. Yup.
Yeah,
y'all right.
Yep. I thought that was pretty cool too. And I just talked about the impact that we have, man. So thank you guys for getting on. We appreciate each and one of you guys. Real quick, do we have words of wisdom? Anybody? I don't have nothing right now, but anybody got something, or are we wrapping up real quick?
Oh,
no words of wisdom. All I will say is Jazar Jackson is starring in the biopic of Michael Jackson. I thought that was some pretty cool, just outside news. In theaters, April 25th. He looked just like him, dog. I mean, let me see if I have it real quick, and then I'm done. That's my last thing. And yeah, we can wrap up. I just want to share this. I mean, when I say it looks just like him, Looks just like him. Here it is. Boom. All right, share that with y'all real quick. As y'all can see, first look at Jafar Jackson as Michael Jackson. Upcoming biopic in theory.
I did see it.
I mean, he looked just like him. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick and shout that out. But look just like him, dog. Look just like him.
Nah, for sure. That's Mike reincarnated. Right
hey, right.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
I just say, man. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
I want to say, as a quick word of wisdom, is keep the grind going, man. Listen to the people that we bring on. Use those tidbits that they talk about, and use that to not only yourself but your everyday life. And don't have to necessarily mean that you're, starting your own company or starting your own thing, but like just use some of the stuff, because I know you can take a little bit of something out of any kind of situation with the stuff that we've been talking about, not just us on here, but our guests as well. So I appreciate all the guests, appreciate all our viewers. We got about 4 people still in here right now. I know we kind of take a little long, dropping off after a while, but hey man, we appreciate each one of you guys. I think there's more viewers too. I only can see the ones that are on here, but appreciate each one of you guys for sure. Got anything, Biggie?
Oh yes, yeah, man. Just like Jerome said, keep staying down. But the biggest thing is, man, when you see something that you're not good at, right? Like for me tonight, it's gonna be the U.S. All-American game. That's what's gonna stick with me. So next show, be prepared. I'm a shed light and bring attention to them boys. But when you're not up on speed of what you're doing, man, take the time out of your Saturdays, man. Take this. Time management is what I'm really getting at here, but go seek that out. Like I know for me, I want to be a great businessman, marketing person. So like last night, I'm in here working on the games with video for Nas, but in the background, I got case study. I got the Mark Zuckerberg. He was talking to the Congress. So stuff like that, man. It's not always good to just watch sports. You know what I'm saying? Just tap into what's really going on, real world stuff. If you want to be a great journalism, go watch them. Want to be a great businessman, tap into that. Tap into EYL, earn your leisure. So whatever you want to be good at, chase that to the fullest extent, because time is limited, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like I was 16 the other day. I'm 26 now, man. So in 30, 40, 50, 60, all that goes on. So put back, put back for a rainy day. I always think ahead. Forward thinking, long-term thinking, as my pops calls it, and stay down, be true to yourself. And tomorrow, if you're not a Valentine, I'm a single man, so guess where I'm gonna be at? I'm gonna be in the movie theater watching that Bob Marley One Love. So one love to everybody, and have a blessed night. And as always, go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying I forgot that movie's coming out, so that's dope. Yeah. But that's gonna do it for us today, guys. Let's say I think I'm ready this time. I think I'm ready. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Wait. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's the first and foremost podcast where we not only give you the spill, but we keep it real. I gotta leave me do it by myself this time.
Yeah, we gotta do that again. Yeah, no. Okay, so I think no. Hold on. I think how we gotta do it to make sure that the cohesion is right. Somebody got to say it. So it's first and foremost podcast. If you don't know the spill, I think all of us got to say at the same time where we keep it real. That's where we got to all come in at the same time.
All right.
Go ahead, Jerome.
All right.
This is the first and foremost podcast where we not only give you the spill, but
we keep it real.
Dang,
come
our timing's on.
One more time. If I want to do one more time, down for it.
Come on, one more time, bro. We can't go out like that, dog. Come on.
All right. This is the first and foremost podcast where we not only give you the spill, but we keep it
real. Yes.
That's it.
I like it.
That's it.
Hey, it works for me.
Let's do it. But thank you guys for checking us out, man. Make sure you follow us on our socials right over here. We got Bacon Network, we got Najee Wilk TV, and we got Inside the Hashes. Thank you guys so much. I hope y'all have a great night.
Go Cats.
Be blessed. Go Cats. I'm dead. Peace.